Hi, everybody. Welcome to FNS Wrestling Podcast, episode 194. Take two, kind of. Not the whole thing, just the intro.
It's not that kind of nightmare again.
No, but it's frustrating experimenting with new video.
Nonetheless.
Well, planned on experimenting with new video, but then the original video method crapped out. So instead of experimenting with it, we're relying on it.
You need to invest in another camera.
So if you can see us, that means things went well. And if you can't, I apologize. The plan was to be visible, but I'm not good at this.
We just had to spare your eyes.
I think
maybe?
this is what we're learning. I am not good at the video part. Okay at the audio part. Video part need to figure some things out. So we already started bantering, and I always like to let people know now that if they want to skip past anything, we have timestamps because we'll talk about non-wrestling stuff for a couple minutes probably, and then get into AEW Dynamite review, NXT, TNA, a little bit of Raw. I watched almost all of it, I think, this week.
I didn't. I have one thing to talk about, which I think you could.
You were there for two cool things.
Never mind, two.
So we have
Drew
a couple.
McIntyre's on the weekly.
We share some of those, and we'll do some trivia that I'm pretty excited about because I liked what I found. It's not my work, the work of someone else that I think is cool. And then we'll preview Wrestlemania both nights and NXT Stand and Deliver, right? It's going to be a long show, and it's really, really late at night, so
it is.
Should be interesting. Very late on Friday night, April 5th.
March.
Well, it feels like March because it snows every day right now.
It shouldn't feel like March because it snows. That
feels like February because it snows.
That seems more appropriate to me. The fact that you say it feels like March because it's snowing kind of concerns me.
If the camera's working, it's our wrestling shirt check. This is probably my favorite wrestling shirt.
Bang, bang, scissor gang.
And I've got my Andrade.
My least favorite faction?
Andrade NXT.
I like your Pete Dunne. I need a Pete Dunne.
Shirt looks cool, fits good, and is like retro because it's NXT days.
They still haven't put out any new Pete Dunne merch, and that concerns me deeply.
My Pete Dunne shirt is also awesome. That era NXT, my gear is good.
I would say I regret not getting that at the time, but at the same time, it wouldn't fit me now anyways.
My favorite AEW shirt is easily a Death Triangle.
Death Triangle. I like that new pack one though. That reminds me of Jordan Devlin.
That one's awesome.
Or JD
I would wear that.
That one is awesome. I need to get that
cool,
one
for sure.
My favorite is maybe this one, just because it makes me chuckle.
So you were saying in take one that you had a 2-day school week.
2-day school week
because
Easter weekend, badminton tournament, and power outage.
Power outage at school for more than half the day, so nobody.
It's Canada, so weather does things.
And they can't close the school until it gets, I think, below a certain temperature. So
yeah, and then
just
power was
no
out for
students came.
Most of the morning. Yeah,
it was pitch black in some parts. So
I know near my locker it was like super dark. I kind of liked it though. It was funny.
It was interesting, yeah. It
made me chuckle.
But yeah, it's been a lot of snow in April for some reason. Not enough to like be shoveling, but cold and actually snowing.
Yeah, which just
or rain. That's all we're getting lately.
And no one knows why. Just because.
I thought it was supposed to be getting warmer and warmer.
No.
Actually, that's not true. That's just
foolish thought.
It gets more extreme. Things get more extreme is what's happening. So that fits with the profile.
True. That is true.
But anyways, I don't know. We should probably get into talking about wrestling unless there's something pressing you wanted to discuss. No.
I tried.
That's good radio right there. You tried.
I did my best.
Well, I think your volume's decent on this, which is always my goal.
So that's something.
You're usually silent on this. But anyways,
we're working on it.
We'll get into the actual wrestling now. We'll start out with the first segment every week, and that is taking a look at the week's wrestling news and rumors. All right, so taking a look at the ratings, we've got NXT this week averaged 647,000 viewers, which doesn't sound great, but it's up 6.7% from last week. Earned a .20 in the key demographic, up 17.7, and up against their usual competition at this time of year, which is NBA basketball. Dynamite averaged 752,000 viewers, up measly 0.7%, earned a .23, exactly the same. So essentially, in my opinion, the same numbers as last week, which is the second lowest demo rating that they have done in the history of the show. I think I said the same thing last week, so it tied last week. That holds true again this week. Thin news week, which is fine because we have so much other stuff. What do you have first for us?
AEW did their first round of releases for like the first time.
They did.
Ever,
I had that too.
Which was pretty strange.
Yeah, so go through them for us.
What was it? I guess, okay, so the way Woke Culture did is I have to click through each one, so that's great.
I have them written down.
Dasha Gonzalez.
Yes.
Which is...
I heard replaced by, so far, The Ring of Honor guy. Bobby
Something. Cruz.
Cruz? I think that's right.
I don't know why I was going to say Tony Chimmel, but that's not right.
Yeah, so I found that one interesting. Just, I don't know.
Stu Grayson, the first to leave twice.
Yeah, and we love Stu Grayson, but
the
I don't
Dark
know.
Order's not really anything anymore,
Right.
and he just stopped hanging out with the Righteous, I guess.
And for anyone, I hate to see anyone lose their jobs, but we say
But I
all the
actually like
time
Stu Grayson.
they need to trim the fat too, right? Like,
Yeah.
we're like, they have to do this.
But I always liked him and Uno as a team.
Because
So.
my favorite jobber got cut.
Yeah, that's true. I assume you mean Parker Boudreaux,
No, I do
of
not.
which we are deeply saddened to hear his departure. I will be slowly tuning out of the
Yes.
product.
You cried yourself to sleep.
For the last few nights.
Parker Boudreaux.
Well, we're gonna have
too
to.
soon.
We're gonna have to start watching AAA.
I'd pour out some coffee for him, but it'd burn me.
And the Trustbusters really taking it hard as Slim J is also gone. Almost
Slim
as
J.
bad.
That was a signing I never understood. I didn't know.
I continue to not know who he is to this day.
Despite he's been in the company quite a while.
I don't even. I don't know. ROH. Both of the boys have been released. Dalton Castle's boys.
Yeah, and there's a
Tony
bit of a story
Khan
behind that
claims
one.
they've been they've no-showed a couple times. They said not.
And
but
apparently they have the receipts, as the kids say.
I don't know what that.
Like, they
entails,
have
but-
texts going back and forth saying how there was a miscommunication, not on their part, for one of the shows they allegedly missed out on. Like, they're like, here's the evidence that it wasn't our fault we didn't get there.
I would say,
don't know.
I guess you don't really need them for much, and you don't, but I do like them as a supplement for Dalton Castle. So
Yeah, I do too, because I like Dalton Castle a lot, and they're a good act.
Not good for your boy Roosh is Jose, the assistant, is out.
Right. I was having trouble remembering who Jose
He's with
was.
Roosh, Pero Peligroso, and not Dragon Lee,
And
not Sin Cara.
he's the dude that's surprisingly jacked, right?
With the tablet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Got it.
that guy.
You will be missed, I guess. I
He
don't
used
know.
to be a wrestler, so. Oh
Yeah.
my God. Oh, George Ole is out.
I had no idea who that was.
He was in Hardy Family Office, but he never did anything. But he was just randomly in the group because Dark existed, so.
But it was one of another like big one of their big Indian signings, I think, was Satnam Singh, because it was a big dude, right?
He's not that. I don't think he was overly big.
Oh no,
Anyways, I honestly didn't even see he was released until now.
I don't know if I've heard that name before.
We have, just not very much.
Interesting.
Gravity's gone, which sucks because I thought he was kind of cool. Younger brother
was.
Bandito.
I feel like he had one match that was really rough.
Was it the Pac one?
I can't remember.
He wrestled Pac when he
Might have
returned the
been.
first time. And finally, but certainly leastly, is Anthony Henry.
Yeah, hey, how dare you? That's my jobber. I say that affectionately. Like, I think he's good, man. I enjoy him, but he is gone.
Which is weird because JD Drake still is there.
And I kind of like that team as well.
So
The
now he's the
Workhorsemen.
workhorse man.
That's right. Solo. Yeah. So
Singular.
this is their very first ever round of releases, right? Tony Khan's always been a just not renew your contract guy. So this is kind of a new era of maybe they understand they need to, their growth, let's be honest, has plateaued. So now you kind of know what your revenues are, I guess, and you can kind of be like, all right, we need to thin some people out.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, I guess it's all really based on their TV contracts and stuff, right? Which they're locked into, but whatever. They've started releasing people. I get it. It's too bad for all the people that were. You saw this story too. There's some Ronda Rousey stuff
That I do not care about.
that Gulak basically walked by and grabbed her drawstring. He says he apologized, and he was reaching in to shake her hand and
I don't
accidentally
like
did that.
pants drawstring.
Yeah.
Like, I don't. It really doesn't make sense to me, this whole thing.
Well, so
I
to
don't
someone you
care.
don't know, you can't do that.
Well,
I
like,
think is
how
what
does
she's saying.
how does that even happen though?
Well, that he's saying he went in to shake her hand and accidentally touched her drawstring.
But like, how does your hand from a handshake to her
Well,
hand?
I don't know. I guess he's reaching in. Maybe she hadn't reached her hand out yet, but
I
know
it just
it-
confuses me, and
me
also
too.
I don't care.
I mean, she apparently confronted him, which is fine.
Yeah. It just confuses me, and it just, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It's somebody's
It's a slow news week.
somebody's
evidently.
story doesn't check out, right? So,
Yeah, and it doesn't matter who to me because I don't.
well, it does
Care
matter if
Rousey.
one is harassing her. That matters.
Yeah, but she's out.
Yeah, but still. I don't know. I'd rather people aren't harassed by people, regardless of who they are. I think is fair. Anything else you have?
Julia is reportedly headed to Philly. The former strong women's champion, I guess.
To Philly to do what? To Wrestlemania?
I guess, or even like I guess Raw after would
Raw
probably be
after?
there. Maybe.
Interesting.
I don't know. She's around, or she's supposedly around at least.
I've seen her a bit, and she's pretty good, I think. So
Yeah.
I don't know. The only other thing I had was that Roman Reigns is set for hiatus following WrestleMania, regardless.
Yeah, I was saying to you, like, typically that's indication of him losing, but with him, it
could
really
just
indicates
be
nothing.
Gone for 2
It
months with the belt easily.
Tells you absolutely jack squat.
It's true.
He could hold the belt for another year and go on hiatus, and just like no one would bat an eye.
I think he needs to because he's running the risk of fatigue. I'm already probably almost there, especially match wise, right? Like storyline wise and character wise. Well, character wise, he's still awesome. Storyline has cooled off, but in ring, we say a slog sometimes when we watch his stuff, right? So, and people he'll get a huge reaction whenever he comes back. So
that'd be another reason why I feel like they could do bloodline rules for his match with Cody. Would change things up a bit.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's for the match night one, right?
That will determine it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so I have nothing left for news.
Last one I have is
you had one,
who's who from AEW is a free agent now.
Who?
You want to guess? It's super interesting.
Is it actually super interesting or not? It's not. So it's not.
It is.
So it's not.
It is.
Did I see this already?
No, it's actually a good one.
Is it? Who?
Matt Hardy.
Oh yeah. See, I would never guess that. That's a shame.
Yeah, and he's not ruling out return to WWE.
Okay. Maybe WWE's ruling that out.
The biggest concern is the legacy of the Hardy Boys. You probably should have thought of that before you came to AEW.
Yeah, that's. Too little, too late category.
A little bit. Honestly, I would like them to go to WWE because then I know they won't pop up anywhere else.
And we watched that less.
Because I know they won't just go to WWE, sign a Legends contract, have a last hurrah, call it a day. Have your last match at SummerSlam because the first TLC was there, some dumb crap like that, and call it a day. It doesn't matter to me.
No, me either. I won't miss them.
I don't.
I was a fan in their prime, but
that was also 2 decades ago,
5 years ago, or whatever. It was.
At least a couple of decades ago.
Yep. Well, I guess that will take us to our first in-depth review, and that is this past Wednesday night's episode of AEW Dynamite. All right, let's talk about the Dynamite that we just finished a little while before coming down here. So it's fresh in my mind, which is always better.
It does help us out a lot.
It does. Bit. Well, me especially.
And the 3 viewers.
And there's some things that were got a reaction out of you. I'll say that.
Suspect.
Yeah.
We kick off the show hearing from Edge.
Yes.
We'll call him.
Right out of the gate without his belt. Which I'll talk about.
The belt magically appeared. When Ospreay came in the ring, the belt was just magically there.
So I'll say it now. I think what it was supposed to be, and it kind of annoyed me, was when I don't have the belt on, I'm not in character. This is me speaking from the heart. And then when I get it back, I'm back into character and dealing with Ospreay now.
Why can't he just, he's based the same either way? It really doesn't.
And I don't like that you're sending the message of, this is me being sincere and real, which the thing is, the rest of the time I'm not, right?
I didn't pick up on that.
I was one. That's just a theory. But it kind of annoyed me.
Perhaps.
Yeah.
He talks about all the negative BS going around lately, Phil Brooks, and how he's seen it all. Listing all the promotions he watched coming up, WWF, other things I don't know.
Among mic malfunctions and feedback, and I thought the smiling he was doing looked. I'm like, have I ever seen Edge smile before? It looked crazy.
Not like that.
He looked crazy to me.
Yeah. He talks about having wrestling taken away from him in 2011, and then he got it back, and he realized he needed to end his career in AEW. He said he's been in some of the greatest locker rooms with some of the best, and he put the AEW guys up with any of them. He lists off all the guys he could face. Things like Omega, Ospreay, all the House of Black guys, other people probably. And he notes how crazy it is. They're all first-time matches, and he talks about how people say it looks like he's having fun this run, and he says he is, and it's some of the most fun of his career. He celebrates the Bucks. He even mentions Cody, I think, Kenny and Tony Khan, and they're all fans of pro wrestling. He says AEW's pushed pro wrestling into a good place, and it makes wrestling better, it makes it more fun, and this is where the best wrestle.
Yeah. We didn't talk about this at all, so
I thought it was fine. I saw like someone say this, and I agree. It's clearly just to kind of fire back at the harsh negativity tidal wave that is CM Punk.
So that's why it bugged me, because it feels like you're opening your show responding to him through Edge, through Copeland. And I would prefer no response at all. Why are you giving Punk this oxygen?
Yeah.
Why are you letting him dictate one moment of your
Dax
product?
said something after a show too.
So I think Edge did a great job, because to
so.
me, he sounded sincere, but he's clearly acting with some of the lines he said, because I forget what it was, but you were like, there's no way that's true. But like, he sounded like he believed it.
And I'm sure some of it's true, because he does look like he's enjoying this run, and some people have been complaining about what he's been doing, but I think he's enjoying himself, and like, obviously he chose to be here, because
I'm not loving his run, but it's not awful either.
I don't think I was ever going to love his run, just because I'm not a big fan of his.
Same.
But I think I'm liking it as much as I could, and I've liked things that he's done.
Mm-hmm.
I think he is enjoying himself, and like, this was fine to fire back. I agree. I don't feel like it was needed, but like, for what it was good.
He delivered it really, really well.
He's going to. He's been a pro for however long.
Don't give any time to this.
Yeah. But yeah, it just felt like,
because publicly, Tony Khan won't comment on it. People have asked him, and he just says, "I'm not going to talk about things."
So stick with that philosophy, right? Fully.
If that's what this was, it sure felt like it was.
I mean, I really don't know why else it would exist.
Yeah, otherwise, like, what's the point?
Didn't accomplish.
I agree.
Not like this. If it was Edge's first promo here, it would make more sense as just like a thing.
Yeah,
because it felt like this could be a promo that he would have delivered in his first 1 to 2 weeks here.
Yeah,
but given that it's not, then it
feels like a response.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Then we roll right into, as he gets introduced by Edge, Will Ospreay versus Powerhouse Hobbs in a battle of the wills.
Match of the night,
yeah.
Right?
I think so.
I think so too.
Jay White.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
Bang Bang Scissor Gang still haunts
me.
May
already be on a list for you, probably somewhere.
Oh, that's a good idea. It didn't even cross my mind.
Next break, you'll have to. Yeah. Top priority.
Right at the gate, Ospreay gets pounced with like a shoulder tackle. Slingshot punch to the outside from Ospreay. He sends Hobbs in the stairs. Hobbs has Ospreay in a stalling vertical suplex kind of position. Then he drops him on the top of the steel stairs, which looked pretty cool.
It did.
Overhead belly from Hobbs. Hobbs blocks an Oscar with like a clubbing lariat. Then he connects with a scoop slam for 2. Ospreay goes for the Oscar again. Hobbs blocks. Ospreay flips over. Tries again, and it connects for a 2 count. Pair of hook kicks from Ospreay. Then he gets floored with a big lariat from Hobbs. Avalanche kind of scoop power slam from Hobbs for 2, which was pretty cool. Ospreay counters the spinebuster into a DDT. Then he hit the leap of faith, but he kind of landed not the best.
Yeah,
he kind of landed more towards Hobbs' head. Then he hit the hidden blade for the win. They called it the Sky Twister. It's not.
It looked a little dangerous, honestly. Yeah. It ended up like a leg drop.
He usually does it really clean.
Yes, this was...
the Sky Twister is the corkscrew moonsault to the outside. This is like, it's like a corkscrew into a senton. It's basically the same thing, but it ends in a senton instead of a moonsault.
Right.
And it's in the ring instead of outside.
Yeah.
So there's a difference, guys.
And I guess Hobbs was fine. So I really liked this match. I thought it was... and there's a little bit of callous, too, on commentary, rooting for whoever was in control. Like, if it looked like that person might win, he was like, yep, that's my guy kind of thing. So really cool styles clash. Ospreay tends to give his opponents a lot, which is awesome. And Hobbs does a lot with that, right? Like, he looks like a monster if you're going to sell for him. So I thought Hobbs looked really good here, too. And Ospreay is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And I even liked him passing Danielson on the ramp afterwards.
Yeah, I like that too.
Bleeding into the next match, sort of thing.
I thought it was good too. I liked it. Not like a lot overly notable, but I thought it was pretty good. It was probably my least favorite Ospreay match so far, and that's no diss to Hobbs. It's just I think the people he's worked with thus far are just people more
I like
Takeshita, Fletcher, Shabbat. Like, it's just guys Ospreay works better with.
Yeah,
I think. But the styles contrast is good here, and so it's no diss on Hobbs. I think he's a great big man. I just think like the other match has been more my style, and especially like Takeshita is.
I think Hobbs might be my favorite. I was thinking how much I like him so much more than Wardlow. Like who else? Archer, way more than Archer. Like he's probably my favorite power guy. I think
in AEW or just
in AEW.
Yeah, in WWE, I don't.
I'm maybe missing somebody, but Luchasaurus. No, Who?
Cass.
No, I'd prefer Hobbs.
I prefer Luchasaurus.
I've sidetracked us.
I love Luchasaurus. But it's Ospreay though, so this was never gonna be bad. It was good. Surprising that he kind of flubbed a leap of faith at the end, but he really screws up, so I'll give him a pass. It doesn't happen often.
I don't think it was his best hidden blade either. It might have been the angle.
No. And maybe Hobbs just doesn't take it as well, because it could depend.
Could be.
But yeah, I agree. But it was still good.
Yep.
Commentary flubbed the line by calling that the Sky Twister. And this is not a fear factor thing, okay? This is not Penta where I'm going to go gently into the good night. It's not the same move.
This is the hill you'll die on?
I know it's not the same move because I've seen him hit the Sky Twister. I've seen him hit the Leap of Faith. I know they're different things.
Write them a stern letter.
It's not like the Penta thing where I can at least say, like, I was unsure because I don't ever specifically, like, I do remember them calling a fear factor in Impact, but it was Impact, so I don't know for sure. I don't remember for sure, but like I've seen both of these moves. I know they're different. I know the difference. I just explained it. So we're not. This is a one-time script. This is not the new Sky Twister.
Okay.
It's not. This is not how.
I won't remember either one, so it won't matter.
I will. Hobbs looked good though. He's a great big man, like you were saying. I think he deserved a better TNT title run because that's an ideal spot for him.
I almost forgot about that, to be honest.
Because it sucked. He beat both Lucha Bros, and that was it.
That was it.
Maybe. And he won it and lost it to Wardlow, which is not good.
No, it's never good on your resume.
Hobbs was angry afterwards, so it kind of further teases Ospreay's inevitable separation from this group, which they've kind of dragged out a little. Not like in a bad way, just like I kind of thought it would just happen at Revolution instead of it kind of.
Seems like he has to go babyface, no?
He is babyface. It's just he kind of has to separate.
Yes.
So like you said, we roll right into Archer versus Bryan Danielson.
Into it.
Yeah, and it's Archer's semi-annual random appearance, although they've been somewhat feuding on Collision, so not like fully, but like there's just a trios match where it's Archer and the Righteous versus I think it was Claudio, Danielson, and Shibata because Moxley's been
gone. The Righteous, wow, amazing.
Yeah, they've teamed like somewhat regularly though, Archer and them, so that works out. Archer attacks as soon as he gets in the ring. Pair of running back elbows in the corner from Archer, but Danielson sidesteps a third, and he comes back with a dragon screw and dropkick to the knee. Yes, kicks from Danielson. Then he gets him in like the Romero special type position, and he stomps on his knees.
Romero Jones, as a matter of fact. It was. Thanks, Taz.
Yeah.
There was a couple this week.
He continues the assault on the left leg with more kicks. Archer chokes him Danielson on the apron, then he boots a ringside dude and body slams him onto Danielson for no reason. Danielson locks into the label lock, but Archer's able to eventually stick his foot on the bottom rope. Archer catches a kick from Danielson. It's another choke slam for 2. Archer goes for the blackout. Danielson counts in a sleeper, and he connects with the Psycho knee. 3 roundhouses and another Psycho knee get the win for Danielson.
Yeah, it's not my favorite Danielson match. I thought Archer was in control for a lot of it to start.
I feel like we might have talked about it before, but I feel like I used to like Archer a lot more in ring.
He's kind of plodding now, I found, and like I get you want Danielson to take a beating to showcase,
and he's kind of fighting a big man like Ospreay's fighting a big man because kind of how like last week Ospreay's like I'll beat Shibata because you beat Shibata,
right?
So now it's like kind of a big man kind of deal, but. I would have liked
not my favorite big man choice.
Even you could do Big Bill and have them play off of the brief WWE history they have.
Yeah, you could.
Or throw in Luchasaurus because I like him.
And it's kind of like Hobbs did the same thing just before this, like dominated a lot as the power guy, but ended up losing.
I like that they've kind of blended into each other, but it does kind of like it is kind of the repeat booking.
So I didn't hate the match. It wasn't my favorite Danielson, but any Danielson match is fine.
If you really want to go there, they both won with running finishers.
They just copy and paste.
Yeah.
Completely.
Solid TV match again, nothing amazing, but it was good for what it was. Archer's decent when he randomly resurfaces. To give them credit, like I said, bit of a collision build, but not much. But it also means little to me because I think it's well established I don't watch that show, and I don't remember the last time I did. Archer's solid. I don't think he's as good as I used to think he is, but he's a solid hand here and there. But
he's a good hand.
Yeah, but that's
the kiss of death.
Honestly, like if they release him, I wouldn't bat an eye. Really, no offense to him. Danielson's always stellar. I like the constant attacks with the leg. That was a nice kind of way to chop him down throughout the match. They heat up Danielson and Ospreay this week. It makes sense, and it was fine. Jericho.
Yep. With Renee on the ramp.
So I said no.
That's what I have.
I said no thanks.
That's it.
Jericho calls out Hook, and he says hit the hook light or whatever. And I was like, it's not cool when you call it out. It's not cool anymore when you call it out.
Yeah.
Like, just do the thing, and I think it's kind of neat. But if you're starting to, like, say, hey, do that,
yeah,
I don't think it's cool anymore.
Not great.
Jericho understands why Hook is hesitant to work with him, and I wrote in brackets, does he?
Mm-hmm.
Because they're trying to play it off as, like, because Jericho's treacherous or whatever. I think it's because Jericho's washed up and he sucks.
That, or both. It could be both.
Yeah, but even still, I don't think Jericho understands that part.
No, I don't think so either.
Either way, he doesn't get the gist of it. He says there are different rules when you're at the top for so long. Is he still at the top? I mean,
No.
he was saying he's at the top for so long hopefully doesn't mean he thinks he still is.
No,
because I would say no.
He does.
Yeah,
he thinks that.
Feels hopefully like not. When Hook gets that, he'll understand what Jericho's trying to teach him. Jericho said he isn't asking Hook to completely trust him. He asked him to believe in him like he believes in Hook. Hook says he does. He got them a tag match on Collision. Jericho says bet, which grossed me out.
Yeah, that was pretty hard cringe for you right there.
Yeah, just don't do that.
In the true sense of the word, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just said, like, take this whole thing to Collision. Go right ahead and take it, because I watch it more than you, but that's still pretty rare.
I don't even think you... Like, I think it's more so if there's something decent.
So is this him? It feels like he's a sneaky heel mentor.
I don't...
And is that him reinventing himself, or is that him just running it back, what he's been doing? Because wasn't he sneaky heel mentor in Jazz, basically?
Less sneaky, more boring.
But anyways, I don't need Jericho anymore. I don't think any of this helps Hook, to be honest.
And so I don't know why it occurred to me this week, but I had a strange theory, and I kind of told you. Because they're calling him Lionheart Jericho a lot lately. Like, even Renee introduced him as Lionheart Chris Jericho. And so my theory is that since fan backlash of Jericho's grown stronger by the weekend, opinion of him is deteriorated.
And really ramped up in Canada.
Mm-hmm. Due to I think the Kylie Ray scenario, and I'd also like to think due to his declining ability, but definitely the first part. For sure.
Well, and if he was getting booed like that in Toronto, right? Like, that's a red flag for them too.
For sure. And I think it's due to that. But either way, opinion's declining.
Yep.
So, and I feel like that means they're not expecting fans to sing along to Juice as much as they do, or as much as they used to, I mean. And so I feel like they're kind of concerned about that depleting.
Yeah.
So they're using that generic ass Lionheart theme. And kind of furthering my theory this week is that Jericho made zero effort to look anything like Lionheart. He was just regular Jericho, and like the leather jacket. And like I think usually he wears like the Lionheart vest, and he's got like some yellow colors or whatever. Like even like I'd like to think usually when he's Lionheart, he tends to have the shaved face, just because like at least it's like he didn't have facial hair when he was Lionheart, right? No. I think he even had like I don't know if that matters.
Because that was when he was first baby face,
right? So like
I loved him back then.
Just he made no attempt to look like Lionheart Jericho, but they still introduced him as such.
Yeah, it was more like a Painmaker jacket almost.
That's what I was kind of
Painmaker light kind of thing.
Painheart, Lion Maker.
I think it's all like he's a heel, basically.
Yeah. Anyways, it just was like something that occurred to me. I'm like, it would make sense if just the opinion's deteriorating. And here's a solution if you're worried about that. Bye.
You just showed us you're comfortable releasing people.
Send him back to WWE. He can end his career there, and I'm okay with that because I'm well established. I don't care what happens there.
It'll be like P.S. and Chris Jericho. We forgot.
Or send him to ROH because he was the Ocho there.
Can be the champion for all I care.
Honestly, I don't care.
Anyways,
but more about the actual promo. This was whatever. Don't care about it. Don't want it. Doesn't benefit Hook, and Jericho needs to go on hiatus. Nothing new to say there.
Correct.
Shane Taylor promotion speak. They talk about beating Jericho would be a big win for them. I don't think they've been paying attention to the product if that's how they genuinely feel. And they just have to knock out Lion Hook. I don't like this team. Also, I saw the shirt when I was looking on AEW. I think I told you, and I'm just like, gross. Taylor says they'll get their asses beat on Collision. They sounded solid, but it's a shame they get fed to Jericho because I know you like him.
And it's back-to-back Collision promos, right? I know it's for the same match, so that's a little bit better. But yeah, it's whatever.
Yeah. I don't. You're a Shane Taylor guy, so that kind of sucks.
As soon as it's I do like him. As soon as it's something I'm not going to see, I'm just like I don't even care to comment on it, frankly.
Yeah, Collision it's like a little more defensible because it is like an actual main show. So like that I don't. Even though I don't care, I don't mind them dedicating some time to promote because it's like Rampage. I'm like, whatever. But Collision, it's like in theory, I'm supposed to be watching it, right? So it's fair enough, on their part.
Yeah.
Next we go to Jay White versus Billy Gunn.
Talk about it.
Yeah. There's Jay White's got a new ROH 6-man belt. I didn't get a good look at it, but it's clearly different.
Mm-hmm.
I did see someone talk about it. It looks more like the trios belt to me.
I wouldn't have even noticed.
It's more circular.
Yeah.
It's begs the
If you
question,
say
though,
so.
because shouldn't these belts like just die already? Why are you redesigning them?
That is a good point.
Feels
That's a
little
fair
late. I
point.
feel like you should redesign them when the Mobile MC had them, because now I think that you should just all yell the damn
Or
thing.
are they the ones that get kept when they combine them?
That's the stupidest thing you've ever said.
Well, they just
dumb.
made them new though. Why else would they do that?
That's ridiculous. So let me get this straight. In this modern day and age, you would rather keep an ROH belt than an AEW belt.
I am simply offering up a
you
possible
genuinely think that there's
explanation
any reason why that's a better
for
idea?
why they would upgrade those.
I don't care if you redesign the belt the day of the belt's death. Just get rid of it.
And because it's an honor to Ring of Honor, whatever, they can defend them everywhere. Because they know they're gonna get rid of that company, and it'll be the last legacy. Will be the
bastion.
Tag team belts from there.
Get the trios belts on the Bang Bang Gang and get rid of the ROH belts. Just euthanize them already.
They upgraded them. Sounds like they're staying.
Death to those belts.
Anyways.
Death to ROH, actually. Let's be real. Like, they just introduced a women's TV. Just die already.
Stop avoiding the next thing on your review here. You're probably excited to talk about it, actually.
I do like to be angry.
I hope I have coffee
left.
Not
even angry, just like pissed off. Is like, just save it for like after the match.
I drank it all. That's terrible. I do have water. It's
mistake.
Fine. Chase it with some water.
Yeah. Gunn attacks White Dragon's entrance, interrupting it disrespectfully. So that's already off to a bad start. You interrupted the entrance and theme I like.
Yeah, that's true.
How dare you?
Foreshadowing.
Old man, sir. Gunn half-asses throwing White into the barricade a couple times. Hits him on the announce table as well. Crowd brawling, nothing notable. More slow brawling around ringside. The most White does is send Billy into the barricade once. Billy misses a half-ass thrust kick into the stairs.
You sound like me when I'm putting all of Luke Gallows moves.
Oh yeah, that too. Hey, Luke Gallows will come up shortly.
Yeah.
White keeps getting thrown out of the ring and crawls around like a chomp as Billy barely does anything. Corner chops and shoulders to the gut by White, followed by stomps. Tilt-a-whirl power slam from Billy, then we're shown the Acclaimed are down backstage. Billy avoids the Blade Runner, hits the one and only. 2 famouses from Billy. Famouses look like crap.
He no longer can jump, so whatever, he's 50-something, I get it.
Then don't do it.
But so now, like, Jay White has to be, like, crouched right. It almost looks like he's setting up for a curb stomp more than a famouser.
Or, like, didn't Stax do that weird, like, knee drop version of the curb stomp? That's stupid, too. Gunn grabs a chair, goes to hit White, but the Guns beg him not to. Then White low blows him, but the ref's just there, so Billy wins by DQ. Just doesn't make sense.
The perfect end to the perfect match, I would suggest.
The Acclaim make the save for Billy Gunn. Bullet Club Gold get chumped is all I'm going to write. Gunn save White from getting suplexed through the announce table, and they run off through the crowd.
Yeah, so my only comments were, this was very frustrating, but I'll let you do your thing because I'm going to say similar things at least, but I know you...
chime in when you feel it's
You were
necessary.
angry typing, so feel
So
free.
yeah, I hated this. Much like I extremely dislike Bang Bang Scissor Gang, despite my t-shirt wearing here. I just think the shirt's funny. I knew I didn't want to see this when it was a Billy Gunn singles match, but I just like this more than anticipated. For some stupid reason, they decided to have Billy Gunn dominate 90% of this, and Jay White looks like a complete chump. For no reason. A lot of people bitched and moaned after Full Gear about that MJF match, making White look bad. So he lost to a one-legged man, but White dominated most of that match. And not only do I disagree, because I think we liked that match.
We did.
I liked it a lot more than most people. This match made him look worse than that match ever could. White's a top tier main event caliber dude, top shelf gunslinger, if you will. And here you have him looking weak and cowering to an old man Billy Gunn. Billy's moves out here would be the least diverse around if I hadn't seen Luke Gallows recently. The famous should look like crap. He just punched White and threw him into things at ringside most of the time. White barely got any offense and hit none of his trademark offense. Nothing that I like from him. Like, he was just chop stomps and because I don't think he could do anything to Billy. Didn't even get a Blade Runner. On top of that, he had to low blow Billy, not even sneakily to get a win, but just blatantly in front of the ref, so we get a DQ. AEW never does that, so this was stupid. Everything about this was dumb. Bang Bang Gang look like complete losers. They're like the douchebag heels, yes, and I don't mind them being cowardly heels, because that feels like in their character, but they just look like stupid here.
They did.
Not even stupid in a way where it's oh yeah, they're the heels, and in a way that makes sense. They just look genuinely stupid and week.
And I read you some stuff. It's not just us as Jay
Yeah.
White fans. It's I saw a
And-
lot of this same feeling.
Yes,
like
they-
to give him, to have Billy get the better of him even slightly is one thing, but
For
to
most
have
of the
him
match,
just
too.
dominate him
And then after the match,
is
like
another.
they couldn't even maintain the upper hand, beating down Old, and then they could have had a 3-on-2 on the Acclaimed. Like, how hard is it? White looks so incredibly stupid by getting beaten by Billy like this, and it damages him a little, honestly.
So when you have
Like
your
the Darby match made him look so good, and then we go back. It's like Takeshita when he went from wrestling Darby, ironically, to then wrestling Sting.
when you have
and
your
Darby.
document open to add this to it, I would suggest this whole feud is.
I think I had
we
Bang
should
Bang
make a
Scissor Gang
note of it.
mentioned something
Because
I hated that group.
it was
this group.
somewhere else I was listening to. It might have been Joe Negron. I try to give them credit if I remember who it was. But it was a really good point. It was basically like the Acclaimed are like a really funny act, and Bullet Club Gold were a cool, like, heel, serious act. And putting them together has made the Acclaimed not very funny anymore.
It killed both of
And-
them, especially Bullet Club Gold.
And Bullet Club Gold not very serious anymore.
Oh, it ruined Bullet Club
So
Gold for a time.
it's really to the detriment of everybody involved, right? I get maybe trying to do something different with them, but it was pretty evident fast that this was not going to work, right?
Was that April 3rd?
Are you updating before you forget? You're updating the document right now.
I'll
So, yeah,
I'll
it's-
finish my thoughts on it after, but like I'm just making sure I start adding it there.
It's made both groups worse by taking them further away from what
Thankfully,
they do best.
I think like
right?
Bullet Club Gold are very easy to fix. You just do what you were doing
They
before
both
because
are.
like they are serious, but at the same time they never were.
Yeah,
Because that's just how Jay White and Juice work. Because like White's serious in the ring and when he needs to be, but
They're
they're
DXy.
also like
good DXy.
right. So like, and they were. I thought they were funny for it, and I genuinely loved the group. Like they were my favorite group last year, and I
They're
thought
just like the ultra
they elevated
cocky,
the guns to a point where I loved them.
the ultra cocky, amuse themselves, good
Exactly,
enough
and
to
I
back it up,
Like
kind
they're
of.
serious and not serious, but then the way they weren't serious with the Acclaim made them stupid, and I
agree.
They should never have been baby faces. The Acclaim just looked dumb because like, and again, I cannot point it out enough that supergroup never even fulfilled its so-called purpose.
That's right.
So like, it's not even dumb on the merit that it made these groups suck.
Mhm.
It's dumb on the merit that it didn't do the reason it was like the kayfabe reason that they were brought together.
It was the WWE of the past, like just drop a storyline in the middle. And,
yeah,
and
honestly.
be like, our fans are too stupid
Yeah.
to remember this.
Like, just have the trios match so we can move on because this whole story's done squat for White and Bullet Club Gold. Billy cut off the entrance. I couldn't even enjoy that. Like, just, there's nothing redeemable here. And just the fact that it dragged Jay White down like that is really bothersome to me because
he deserves better.
yeah, he does. He's genuinely great, and I hope they give him some sort of singles spotlight at some point.
And
I
to
hope
his credit, I feel like he sold for Billy.
he did, and he's
So-
great at that, but that shouldn't be the case.
No, I agree. It was a problem. It was a
Um,
drag. This
Huge
show
problem.
lost marks for this.
On-
I put it in my
I
final
wrote in my
comments.
final thoughts, if last week gained marks for the opener and main event, this show
I talked
absolutely
to-
loses marks
I used the phrase loses marks as well.
for that match.
Yep, I agree.
Then we get Will Nightingale interview on the stage, facing the stage.
Yes.
I don't know why.
But we got shown the Bucks and Best Friends arrived just before this with Sue.
With Sue, who didn't
But-
get super kicked.
But yes, they're facing the stage back to the fans and like
I get it's a decent look, but like it makes no sense.
directly addressing the fans too while not looking at them. And
She's
I
talking about the fans. I'm like, but you can't see them.
So I'm already like nervous going, is this symbolic that she's like turning her back on them even though she's being nice to them? Because I don't want her to go heel.
That would be dumb.
Because I think this exact segment showed why she should be a babyface.
For sure.
But anyways, go ahead.
Willow says she's feeling great and she loves wherever they are. I don't remember what town it was or what she said.
Oh yeah.
'Cause-
I don't know either. I'll look.
I don't know.
You keep going.
She says she traveled up and down the road with Statlander and they wrestle at some place nearby. It's like a second home to her. She says every time she questioned if she belonged, the fans' cheers reassured her. She said the applause from the fans helped water her and she blossomed into who she is today, which was interesting phrasing. She said the fans have made her confident she'll be the smiling face of TBS. Then Monet comes out. She can't wait to see that match. She's going to face the winner in Double or Nothing. That's basically it.
Yeah.
Really strong promo from Willow. Rare, talented, and really organically over. and popular a pure babyface, so they need to capitalize on that. I hope they run kind of a double turn. No, not a double turn, but just turn Monet, basically. Because Willow sounded great. She's over. She's super popular. She got a good reaction here, and so I think they need to see what they have.
I agree. Like, I thought she was awesome here.
The shame
and
is, though, I feel like even if she wins the TBS title, the winner likely drops it to Monet either way.
I think so, too.
Which sucks, because I would like Willow to have a good run. I think the TBS title is a good spot for her, because I don't know if they want to put her up to the main title yet, and that's okay.
I know.
Because I think the TBS title would be a good starting point for her, and I don't understand why they were facing the stage the whole time. It was really weird.
I thought she killed it here. I thought the whole "I'll be the smiling face of TBS" was an awesome. Like, I could literally see them using that when she is champion. And it's like frustrating because you could have done this with her at any point. She gets this reaction, obviously more so here, but like she gets a reaction everywhere she goes, and she felt important after this to me. So they need to cash in on her as a money baby face, and I think it's clear. Like, Monet's a heel, man. You have to
put her with the elite. I've been saying
yes, that would be awesome. So at least Mercedes Moné kept it short this week, because I think this is the first time she's spoken without stumbling at least once, right?
Also spoken without, like, a whole segment around it.
But, like, when she's in such direct comparison to Willow here, Willow destroyed her, I thought. Not, like, insulting her or getting but just, like, sounding so good.
Just in comparison, yeah.
Question, because this begs the question to me. If consider them a trade, like, I know it technically wasn't, but if you consider Jade Cargill traded for Mercedes Moné, who wins that trade?
AEW. Because I know Mercedes can wrestle.
I don't know.
I know she can wrestle.
I know she can wrestle, but I don't know if that's enough to win.
It is, because Jade can't wrestle, and her promos got boring.
I know, but I think she'll learn.
I think Monet is good, though. I'm going to wait for her to turn heel.
It's maybe that Jade's a better fit, but I don't know, man. And I like Sasha, but
I think she's good. I think the main reason WWE would win there is because, Jade's a good fit, but I also think because Sasha's a good fit there, too.
But if Jade Cargill can become a good wrestler, that's money. WWE will.
At the same time, though, I don't think she was ever an AEW
And as
person.
someone who's started watching more WWE lately, say what you will about them, and I do and I will, the women's, they're like tons of attention.
They just don't.
I'm not saying they execute
don't have a lot of good
storylines
outside of the titles.
But there's multiple ones. And there's groups of women doing stuff.
They just don't always do things with them, though.
No, but they're present.
Somewhat.
Way more. On Raw, way more. This week, last couple weeks, like way more than anything on AEW.
Okay, but when it's Maxine Dupree, I don't think that's a positive.
I'm not, again, execution is different. Including the more is
I'd rather you have less women on TV than feature Maxine Dupree.
Well, obviously. No, Maxine, I love to watch Maxine. I told you, because pound for pound, there's no one worse than her. No offense. Right?
It's like, it was so funny, because I think the one-line commentary said was like, I don't know, somewhere said, it might have been commentary, I think it was, that like every time you get to see her in the ring, you get to watch her like grow or improve. And I'm like, no, you don't.
Well, remember, I'll never forget, probably because I still remember it now, where the commentary said something like the rapidly improving. And
it was in the Rumble. It was in the Rumble.
Immediately botched like four things
Rumble,
in a row.
Yeah, she was horrible.
Yeah, it was.
She just immediately sucked. It's like,
it was right on cue.
I hope that Chad Gable training her is only in kayfabe, because there's no way.
Sometimes people can't learn things, you know? We were saying with a certain person in TNA that, like, you've had enough time in training.
Yeah, I've watched
that maybe you're just not good at this.
What, is it almost 8 whole years
now? It
has
has to be.
At least. Well, Dana Brooke is like, it's been at least 8 years on my radar.
Still really bad.
She, like, since the beginning of my time as a wrestling fan, she has been on my screens and she's sucked.
Her swanton looks good, but I don't know if that's the hardest thing.
It just looks like she's sinking.
I also don't know how hard that is.
It's not. And also, she got annoyed at Tiffany
not
Stratton.
That I could do it, but maybe I have a beautiful swanton.
Then she got annoyed at Stratton for doing it and then said, oh, it's in character.
I don't know.
No, it's not.
Anyways, get going.
Young Bucks versus Best Friends, tourney semifinal.
Bucks are dressed like bellboys?
Yeah.
For some reason.
It was kind of funny.
Yeah.
It's pretty spot on. I mean, if the EVP thing doesn't pan out.
Yep.
They could come down the ring with luggage and never be attacked in a parking lot ever again.
Mm-hmm. Protect you.
Trent stops the Northern Light suplexes from Matt, hits a tornado DDT. Later on, a hot tag flurry from Cassidy. Bucks go for the EVP trigger, but then because they're so smart, they decide to mock Cassie with lazy kicks. Then they miss the EVP trigger, triple DT from Cassie to both of them, not at the same time, individual. I was gonna say each of them, but is that proper English?
Say it again.
Like if I say he had a DDT for each of them.
Yes.
But I thought, wouldn't that be if they imply there's more than two?
No. It just it's the difference between both and one at a time.
I guess
is what you're clarifying.
Yeah. Diving DDT from Cassie to Nick for 2. Best friends hit the eat defeat half an ass suplex, which is always good. Strong Zero connects for a near fall. Finish comes when Trent gets catapulted into an exposed turnbuckle. Matt rolls him up with a handful of tights for the win. Best friends go to hug after the match, and Trent blasts Cassie with a running knee.
He did.
It
looked good.
I like too that like that's a really cool way to just like kind of naturally do it because you could easily it's a plausible just they're gonna do the hug thing.
They tease the hug and then Chucky is like in between and he just kind of
looks disappointed, but he never did anything either.
So they're still leaving us in a bit of suspense. So this match was kind of interesting because when you're watching and you have to write notes, so you're kind of formulating your opinion as you're watching it. And I was like, man, and I even put like the first few minutes of this I thought were ordinary. And part of the reason is the Bucks heel style, right, is not the Young Bucks in full speed ahead, double team moves.
Which I get why they're doing that, and that's okay.
I get it. It's just not as entertaining.
I agree. And I feel like that's always going to be something we mention because the Bucks are genuinely great in the ring.
Yes.
And I know you don't always love them, but in the ring, they're genuinely great.
In the ring, yes. But I thought once Cassidy caught fire, that little flurry,
Cassidy's always a jolt of energy in a match.
That was the catalyst. And then like the referee lost control, which I don't mind either. So I thought
best friends have good tag offense, which I guess is irrelevant now.
And that's when you got to sort of see that in this. So I thought this was a good TV tag match by the end. First few minutes didn't do much. The Trent turn they've been teasing. I thought they executed it well.
To see where they go with it.
No offense. I think that Chucky needs to go with Trent because neither of them survives as a single, let's be real. No. But as a heel tag team?
Heel team, maybe, yeah.
And it gets more, I feel like that's even more sympathy for Orange Cassidy if it's everybody abandon him.
Yeah, I'd like
Could be one at a time. Could be Chucky's with him for a bit and then whatever.
Especially if he's injured right now. You have Trent feud with Cassidy and Chuck turns when he's ready to
when he's healthy, take him out.
Yeah. And with Trent, like, I don't know why this connected to me, but if he went so like as a heel and he kind of got lost in the shuffle, it reminds me kind of what Kaz is doing right now. Just because Kaz, like, I don't see him thriving as a top heel.
No,
he just feels like he's gonna get lost in the shuffle, kind of like when he went Elite Hunter, and just did nothing.
He's like there for quality wins for people. I think like he'll win a few here and there, and then he'll be like,
he doesn't seem like a cool, menacing heel anymore. Like just because he's like, well, it's just the heel thing. Somewhere just visually to me, it's just disconnect. I don't see Kaz just the way he looks. I'm like. Heel.
He's calling himself the king of TNA now. He insists he be introduced as that.
Bro's not Samoa Joe, all right?
No.
It's not. This ain't no king of TV thing.
No.
But yeah, no, this was good. The Bucks are solid as always, but I do miss when they would do more. I feel like they still should, but I get what they're doing.
Yeah.
It's fair.
They're not trying to get cheered, right? Yeah. Bottom line.
Some solid near falls towards the end. I wish Best Friends would have won because now it's clear we get Bucks FTR again. It'll be good, no doubt. Actually, it might not be as much just because the Bucks are like how they are.
And not fresh, right?
Yeah. The thing is, to me, it's just not really interesting to me. It feels like it just happened at All In.
It'll be like, hey, that was another really good tag team match.
Yeah, it just doesn't feel like something to me. And this tournament sucks. Not like this match was bad. And what was the one last week?
The matches weren't bad.
Bucks Private Party is also good. But it's just, it's just such a missed opportunity and I don't care.
And it felt like it was really quick because there weren't as many teams as we were sort of led to believe there might be. So
yeah.
The in-ring stuff was totally fine.
I wish they stretched it to Double or Nothing and had more matches.
We were hoping for more and kind of built it up in our minds, I think.
Yeah, but even was built up in the rumor mill.
We didn't pull it out of thin air. I'm not saying
we needed the whole every team thing, but the 16-team tourney would have been nice.
And take your time and let it breathe.
No offense. Why were the infantry anywhere near this tournament?
Yeah, I don't know.
ROH guys, just... Yeah. Like, maybe you have, like, an ROH match in here. Like, I mean, like, you have infantry versus... for some reason, the only ROH team I'm thinking of is Griff Garrison and Cole Carter. So
I think the infantry are kind of cool. They'll be all right.
I think they're solid, but like it just kind of came out of nowhere and they beat House of Black.
Right.
Which is weird. Anyways, Trent heel turn finally came, so that should be interesting as well.
Yep.
Next we get Mania versus Thunder Rosa. Yay! Winner gets the title shot. Yay!
Yes.
Woohoo!
It's the number 1 and number 2 facing off for number 1 contender.
Yay!
Yeah.
Hip attack in the corner for May,
Look
followed
good.
by her running shotgun dropkick, which she always does really well.
She does.
Which I no doubt picked up from Japan because Saray and whatnot.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Basement crossbody against the barricade from Rosa, which was not the best looking.
I thought it looked okay.
It
was no Brody King, but
didn't look very impactful though. Strike exchange. Rosa shakily counters the Mania and roll for 2. Tijuana bomb from Rosa gets the win. I don't think that was a great finisher.
There's not a lot of distance from, and I guess there aren't in some other moves too.
But it just didn't look like a finisher.
But other moves, when you're releasing that low, it's a lot of your body weight too. Like I'm thinking of the crunchy or whatever.
Sometimes you.
But she's just kind of dropping them from a foot and a half.
Or sometimes you swing them around and drop them. Even the bitter end is
It's not my favorite.
Cool. I love the bitter end.
Bitter end's my favorite, not whatever Thunder.
I always love the bitter end. I thought it was fine. Didn't care for it. I knew who was winning. I didn't want it. Don't want her near the title again because I don't think she's good anymore. And lest we forget, last time she had the title was when I didn't like her.
Yep.
I think this feud is a lose-lose scenario because it's well known if you listen to this that we are out on Toni Storm.
Correct. I thought it was fine as well. May controlled a lot of it, and I think she's
solid in ring. I wish they would kind of showcase her more. I do think she needs to get away from this.
I think her strikes look good.
I like to see what she can do outside of the fangirl gimmick.
Yeah. The match was fine, right? I don't love Storm as champion, but I don't want Thunder Rosa either.
No, so I just Storm just needs to hang on to it because I don't want.
I think so too.
And with May, they need to get away from this because right now she's literally cosplaying as someone else.
Well, clearly there's a turn somewhere happening.
So that's what we need.
Yeah.
Penta and Alex promo. Alex says they hear it, and the people are for Penta. Penta's for the people. Basically, Penta's gonna face Cope in a TNT title match next week. Cope and challenge. Penta says the people want and need a champion with Cero Miedo. I'm all for Penta getting a title shot, but I know he won't win, which sucks.
No, he
I
won't.
think when Phoenix comes back, you get a brief Lucha Bros run in, and then you try your hand at Dark Penta again. Do it right this time.
Don't abandon it in 2 weeks or whatever it was.
Not even that. It's just Penta Oscuro sucked.
He was last time they did it, he was 12% different from regular Penta. You need to go
the same Penta, you just had a shovel.
He needs to be evil,
breaking people's arms.
Evil Swerve was.
And have Alex, when Alex originally started going with him, he was cool because he was just Penta says yada yada yada. And it wasn't this corny good guy thing. It was just I don't know, there's something to it, just this kind of snarky attitude to it.
I almost wouldn't mind if...
And when Cody sold him...
When it gets to Dark Penta, it's almost as if Alex is...
afraid of him.
Yeah.
I remember you
kind of like Heyman does that sometimes with Lesnar.
Heyman's really good at that.
I'm afraid...
Even Roman.
You show flashes of that, this guy's terrifying.
Yeah. But Alex works for him or something.
Yeah, I wish Penta would get some gold, but it's not happening here. And then isn't everyone else an idiot if this is how easy it is to claim the Copeland challenge? Nobody else... This is the first guy. Waited however long. The rest of them are going, oh damn, it was that easy? We could have just said I claim it.
They just need to get they need to clear TV time. It's TK's
and then
you can.
If this is real, shouldn't it immediately be now and me next and then me next, and you know what I mean? Shouldn't they all just be now cutting a little promo going I'm next and then I'm next?
Copeland's matches are set for the next
infinite
8 weeks
forever.
Or something at least.
Yes. Anyway, sorry.
I guess. Swerve Joe contract signing is our last stop.
It was. And I was wow, that means Mariah May Thunder Rosa was the main event, which I don't think I want to call it that. Not that he was bad. I'm not trying to say that, but...
It's Thunder Rosa, so...
Come on. Main event?
It's Thunder Rosa.
Come on.
Yeah, come on. Joe says a lot of people seem to care about Swerve, so he's going to give him some advice. Swerve's been working with bad information, thinking this ends happy with the new champion. He says the truth is the signing the contract brings doom and destruction. He says it'll be a career-defining mistake, and he'll leave him beaten and scarred like he left Diddy's party too early.
Yes.
Swerve said he's been waiting for this all his life. Yeah, that got a good reaction, and he's dreamed about it. He said he didn't always think it was possible, and the journey's been filled with a lot of obstacles, but it took him to the main event dynasty. And he said AEW's building a dynasty with all the people they've been getting recently, but he says the title's bigger than both of them, and he says he knows Joe's the killer, but so is he. Joe shoves Swerve. Swerve punches him. Goes to wrap the chain around him. Joe headbutts him. Joe wraps the chain around his fist. Clock Swerve. A lot of jabs in the corner with the chain from Joe.
So many.
Beats him bloody until the rest force him out of the ring. Swerve stumbles up, says he loves this. Or he like cackles, kind of like the Swerve laugh.
Yeah.
Then he says he loves this, and Swerve marches back down, kicks him in the nuts, and hits him with the Uranagi through the table to stand tall at the end of the show.
Yeah, man, I really like this segment. I thought
it was my favorite. Like, that's when you said favorite match on the show. I was like, yeah, favorite match. I think this is my favorite thing on the show.
Yeah, and when Swerve got really close to Joe and was super intense, that's the Swerve I want. I know I keep saying that all the time, but that's when it's another gear for me. And Joe sounded great as always, but like I thought the physicality trumped the verbal. Like I thought the beatdown by Joe looked awesome. The initial beatdown, and then Swerve looked like a badass.
Yeah.
Covered in blood and like basically laughing about it, right?
Like shaking it off, but not in a way that made Joe look stupid.
And
but
then
made
Joe
in
comes
a way
back,
that makes Swerve look cool.
And then Joe comes back and finishes the job, right? So, and the crowd was loving it and going nuts. I thought this was awesome. And because sometimes there's so many beatdowns and run-ins and whatever, but this worked for me. I thought it looked great.
Agreed. I thought it was a super strong segment in the show. I still would prefer a match, but it was a great way to build the title match. I think both of them come out look great. Joe comes out looking like a monstrous killer, and Swerve looks like a badass, like you said. I like what both of them had to say. Swerve's point to make history, and his work to get here is simple but effective, and it's a good thing to have, and it makes sense regardless face or heel dynamic. Joe had some solid jabs. The Diddy line got a good reaction. Joe looked killer in his beatdown Swerve, and I like that he got the upper hand. His facial reaction when Swerve didn't stay down was also perfect, like just like the kind of shock, but like also kind of angry he looked. Before he put him through the table. Swerve looked like a badass between some of the things he said, the big coat, the laugh after he got beat down, and what he said there. It felt like it was a bit of the old Swerve back, so I agree. Like that. I think this accomplished what it set out to do and ended the show on a high, regardless of what else we saw.
Yeah, it felt like we saw little flickers of like
the Swerve we want.
We could get that Swerve. He wants that belt so bad, right? Like he would go revert to that to get that
I wouldn't mind
title.
If during his heel run he is so obsessed with keeping the title that he reverts back to that Swerve and he becomes monster heel Swerve by the time we get to All In, at which point babyface Ospreay could take the title.
I even think he can be cool heel as long as he doesn't go as far as like home invasions and whatever and stuff. Like if you stop short of that, then
you should fly all the way to like the UK and invade Ospreay's house before All In.
Overall, I thought it was a good episode. The opener again was my match of the night. Other than the Gunn White debacle, none of the other matches were bad, I don't think.
The Gunn White debacle is a great way to put it.
But I would call it lack of a main event, or if you want to say Rosa and May was the main event, then underwhelming. So
I don't mind when they on the segment when it's a good one, though.
No, honestly, and the final segment was really good.
The only thing is maybe put a stronger match before the main event segment, so it's at least like if you want to call it the main event, it's like, oh, this was a good main event.
So I would say my top three things, two of them were segments, Willow and the main event. Or the main event segment, and then the opener were three really. So I said B overall. Like I enjoyed the show, but there was nothing ultra amazing. But two really really good segments, I thought.
Overall, not the best show for me in my opinion. It felt like a definite step down from last week. Bookending the show with segments was a strange choice, but I thought the main event one was great at least. Hobbs Ospreay good, Archer Danielson solid, Billy Switchblade awful and angered me. Buck's best friends good, women's match fine. Edge's promo was fine, served a purpose, but also didn't feel necessary. Hook, Jericho lame, Willow great. Main event segment, the show was highlight for me. Not a banner show, but if the bangers last week elevated things, then the Switchblade gun match sunk this one.
It was bad.
It's a B- for me. It felt like it needed some more notable happenings, and then one match really hurts things for me.
It did.
It bumps it down a good grade.
I believe you.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. Well, that's going to wrap that up, and we will move into our trivia segment that we do every week that we like to call Off the Top of His Head. All right, so I told you I was looking forward to this one. So it is not mine original. It is from Sporkle.com.
I like that name. It makes me chuckle.
And all I told you was it was Wrestlemania involved, but like very specific, but I think will show your breadth of knowledge well. So it is the impossible caps lock. Okay, impossible. So you won't be able to do it, so don't feel bad. Impossible WWE Wrestlemania Bloodline quiz. So it's like going through WrestleMania history of who from the bloodline. So, for example, the WrestleMania 4 Battle Royal. Who's the bloodline member in that match?
WrestleMania 4.
Isn't this fun? Yeah, so because I know you know who all the bloodline people are.
Would it have to be Rocky Johnson?
No.
No? Oh, wait, it have to be... Yeah.
So what year's
Haku?
4? No.
4 is 88.
Okay.
Like, would it be a head shrinker?
Let me know if you want to give up. I don't know how to give you a hint.
Fatu?
Okay, so keep going. No.
Samu?
No. I think you're in the ballpark, though.
Afa?
No.
Sika?
Correct.
Sika?
Sika,
The one.
yeah.
That's the one?
That's the
That's
one.
weird.
Okay, so
No, Afa.
then there was a WrestleMania 4 6-man tag team match.
Haku?
No.
Is this Fatu? Am I too
Oh,
early?
sorry. Haku was the partner, but he's not part of the family.
I thought he was.
He's not.
Okay.
His partner might be.
Fatu?
No. It was Coco Beware, Dynamite Kid, Davey Boy Smith versus Haku, Bobby Heenan, and
Sultan?
Tama. I keep forgetting to hit the no button.
Tonga?
No!
Tama.
Who's Tama?
Wow, okay. We'll have to look him up. Wasn't he
Was it Islanders?
one half of the Islanders?
Okay, I don't remember. I know
I love the
but I
Islanders
don't.
back in the day. I really liked them. Because I was early to liking heels, and they were one of them. Okay, WrestleMania 6 singles match. Should get easier. If these are right. If maybe these aren't Bloodline members. Faced Rick Rude. These are hard. I like it. Take a guess.
I want to say Haku again. I don't know.
Jimmy
Wait,
Snuka?
No!
Is he in the Bloodline?
I don't know, because, like, is Tamina considered, I think, right?
Yeah?
I guess it's fair. Honestly, when I think the Bloodline, I don't think.
Well, keep thinking that way for WrestleMania 7.
The only reason I think of Haku is because, like, when people were talking about Tama Tonga coming, they were saying he could be put in the Bloodline. So there's some relation, I swear.
I guess, yeah.
So Snuka again?
Yes, it is.
Oh, was that would have been the year I think he lost to Taker.
Correct. It was at the beginning of the streak,
Yeah.
right? WrestleMania 9 tag team match versus the Steiners, if it helps you.
So it has to be. It'd be head shrinkers, right?
Who are?
Fatu and Samu.
Correct. Very good.
I was gonna say a solo, but that would be after.
WrestleMania 9 championship match.
Which one? Because there's two technically, because Hulk Hogan's a bitch.
Well, was Hulk Hogan?
Yoko.
Correct. Bret Hart and Yoko.
Yeah.
WrestleMania 10 WWF championship match.
Yoko.
Correct. WrestleMania 11.
Yoko.
What match was it?
It's against, I think Smoking Guns was Owen.
Correct. Why would you know
that? Was the start of their
What's wrong
tag
with
run.
you?
Camp Cornette, baby.
WrestleMania 12.
Yoko.
In what kind of match?
Tag match.
How many people?
8.
6.
Damn it.
Yoko, Ahmed Johnson, Jake Roberts.
See, that's
versus Davey Boy Owen and Vader.
That doesn't. Okay, so I guess he was out of Camp Cornette.
Yeah, I guess so. WrestleMania 13, Intercontinental Championship.
Sultan.
No.
Oh wait, that's the next year. Never mind.
Oh, sorry. Ding, because they're both Bloodline members. Sultan versus
Rocky.
Correct.
Oh wait, was that 13?
The Sultan's
Okay,
in
no.
there?
So 14 was Sultan's Rikishi.
Oh, right.
Like, God, get your head in the game, man. Seems Fatu.
Right.
Fatu
okay.
is Rikishi.
Okay, I just
make a difference, Fatu, baby.
But these aren't right. WrestleMania 14, Intercontinental Championship.
Rocky.
Correct. Against?
Was this Sultan one or no?
No.
That was 13.
That was before.
Shamrock.
Correct.
Yeah.
WrestleMania 15.
Rock.
I think there's going to be a trend here.
Austin.
Correct. WrestleMania 16.
Rock.
Nope.
What?
Oh, sorry.
Yes.
Him as well.
Oh, Rikishi.
And what was
in
his
some?
match?
Rock's was the 4-way with Trips, Big Show, and Mankind.
Correct.
Or not Mankind.
Correct.
Jack McFoley, whatever.
Mick Foley. And then, sorry, you said the other member was?
Rikishi?
Yeah, and his match?
I don't know.
Tag team with Kane.
Oh, I was gonna get
Against
too cool,
DX.
honestly. That doesn't even make sense to me.
Road Dogg and X-Pac in that version.
That's also weird.
WrestleMania 17.
Rock.
Correct. In
Awesome.
what? Yep, for the championship. WrestleMania 18.
Rock Hogan. Is there anything
Correct.
else?
And
Rikishi.
Correct.
This is
In
the only
a
other option. Now.
6-man tag again.
Yeah, I honestly
WrestleMania 19.
Rock Austin.
Correct. WrestleMania 20.
Rock and Mick Foley against Evolution.
Correct.
Was
Also
Rikishi
WrestleMania
in like
20.
a 4-way tag?
Yes, he was.
Was Sky Too Hottie? I think it would be his partner.
Yes.
And I think like Billy and Chuck maybe in
Haas and Benjamin, Bashams,
London
and APA.
oh damn it! I was gonna say London and Kidman.
This is gonna take way too long. I should jump.
That's all right. I'll
Are
try.
you
I'll
sure?
go faster. I'll try.
WrestleMania 21.
Okay, I take it back. Would it be who would Umaga? No, it's too early for Umaga. Is it Rikishi still?
Sorry, who did you say? It's not Umaga.
Rikishi?
Not Rikishi.
Ooh, who could it
Sorry,
be
some
then?
music just went through by accident in the background.
Who could that be? I don't even know who else would be around that. Wait. Sim Snuka.
No.
Damn it.
It was in a tag team with superheroes.
Oh, Rosie. Okay.
Makes sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
WrestleMania 23.
Umanga.
Correct.
Against Bob
So nothing
Lashley.
at 22.
That was the Trump
Oh, great.
Vince thing.
I have to bleep that word out.
Umanga.
WrestleMania 24.
Umanga.
Yeah. WrestleMania 25.
Umanga?
No.
Oh, Snuka.
Yes.
The 3-1 against Jericho.
WrestleMania 26.
Umanga.
Nope. Battle Royal.
Is
in their younger days, I guess.
Usos, yeah.
It is the Usos.
I figured it was like this is about the time they start. Oh wait, that might come pre-shows then. That would be interesting.
WrestleMania 28.
Wait. Oh, nothing in 27. Okay, so then Rock Cena would have to be.
Yes, and
Usos did something on the pre-show.
correct.
Because they didn't make main
Triple
card until
threat
like
tag team
2018,
match.
so it would have to be there. I guess we're including pre-shows.
WrestleMania 29.
Rock Cena.
And
Usos.
no. No, not 29. 30. I'll give you that one ahead of time.
Okay.
29. There's another.
Roman. Oh right,
Correct.
Shield against
yeah. You say you like the Shield.
Orton, Sheamus, Big Show. Okay, I gotta start thinking Shield now.
30. There was another one other than the Usos. Two more.
Roman.
And
Which was Shield against Kane, New Age Outlaws.
this is a tricky one.
Okay.
We have not been down this road yet.
Tamina?
Sorry?
Tamina?
Correct. I was gonna give you the women hint, but I was waiting. 31.
I was thinking because like the Snuka route is
31. There is 3 matches. Roman. Correct.
Lesnar, I guess Rollins is in there. Usos probably did something. On
They
the
did.
pre-show.
Maybe more than one thing.
Usos
So they were in a
again.
tag team championship match, and
I don't know.
Jimmy was in the battle royal as well.
That's weird. But that okay. That's strange to me.
32.
Usos. I think they had a pre-show match against the Dudleys. I don't know why I remember that.
They
'cause
did.
That was my first Mania, and then Roman, Triple H,
And another one.
Rock appeared on the show. He didn't. Oh wait, Rock, Eric Rowan. I guess.
No.
That's technically a match.
No.
Yeah, it was 6 seconds.
Women again.
Tamina.
Correct.
Oh right, pre-show. Yeah, I remember that actually. Why?
33.
Roman Taker.
Yes.
Is that it? Usos.
No, there's tons. There's like 4.
4.
Roman Taker, 2 men, 2 women.
Oh, Nia Jax.
Correct.
In the women's 4-way. God, I hate that I have to mention her. Did Tamina do something?
Women's
6-pack challenge? Was Tamina in that?
Oh, they're considering Naomi as a bloodline member.
That's cheating.
Yeah,
that's not fair.
That's dumb.
That
And then
doesn't
the
count.
Usos.
Okay. And the pre-show nonsense or battle royal, I assume.
34, yeah.
34 Usos was Bludgeon Brothers and New Day.
Correct.
Roman was Lesnar. And
Correct.
Nia Jax, Alexa Bliss.
And they're counting Naomi again.
Naomi in the battle royal.
Correct.
That's not.
That's
that
cheap.
Doesn't even. That's too far. Snuka's maybe because like that could be fully plausible, but
All right.
Naomi's cheating.
There's nobody new, so they're all the same from this point forward.
Roman Usos.
I think we're good.
Sami Zayn.
Yeah. But anyways, you definitely prove you. I thought that was kind of fun.
Yeah, that was
Interesting, right?
Not what I would expect. from a
WrestleMania,
Mania.
but very like specific. So
So not a bad way to take it.
you struggled with the older ones, which makes sense because you were not alive.
Also, because like it like you even said, to be fair, it's like hard to classify what's
Right.
bloodline.
There's many branches. It seems like it gets
just
pretty
because like
far.
Snuka's, I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Naomi's stupid.
Anyways, we'll get back into talking about more wrestling from this week. Some Raw, some NXT, some TNA. We call it Highspots and Restholds. All right, I'll try and make it quick because we're going to get through a bunch of stuff here. Starting it with Raw. I watched all of it. You were there for some. I don't remember how much, to be honest.
I remember two. Nope, that's not true. Three things.
I made 4 points. 3 things I liked. 1 I did not. Liked a lot. You did as well. The Sami Zayn, Chad
really
Gable
good.
segment.
Like what? Kind of like a Rocky kind of.
It was.
Thing. Just like Gable's training him, and then just the hype up part where Sammy's kind of getting down on himself, and Gable's giving like the tough love. It was really good.
And he
Sammy
was,
is fantastic.
Sammy was kind of like, I heard what you said about me, and it turns out like, well, I said what I needed to say to make you. Because that, like, you were in peak form last time, you were doubted by everybody, so I'm trying to get you back to that place or whatever. Anyway, Sami Zayn's
is fantastic.
Awesome actor, so
when they give him something to do, he can do it. And it's the same energy he brought to the Bloodline stuff, which is really, let's be honest, that's a lot of what made that.
He is a money babyface. Mm-hmm. He's all-time babyface.
And I do wish the match went to Gable, but I like that he's still there.
Me too. The Drew McIntyre pre-recorded segment.
Oh, Drew McIntyre is awesome, man.
At like a funeral.
I love him.
And he ripped on Punk first, then Rollins, and both were awesome.
He's just absolutely amazing. He's
incredible. He's the best
makes me laugh
heel in wrestling.
He's one of my favorite things right now. Honestly, just this work alone is making me consider him for just Wrestler of the Year. Because
I made a note of him already. He's like fantastic. Best character or whatever. Like he's running away with it right now.
Doing fantastic, yeah. And it's crazy. It's just sitting in main roster.
Yep. Exactly. Beautiful. I thought the Ricochet Ivar match was good.
It was solid.
Remember Ricochet caught Ivar?
Which I swear he's done before in like NXT, but it's still crazy every time.
And he absolutely drilled the 630 as well.
Yeah, which I feel like I haven't seen him bust out in a while, which I guess it's a risky
It's almost
thing.
like they've realized Ricochet's super entertaining and people like watching him wrestle. It's crazy. It's a crazy idea.
Who would have thunk it?
I'm happy for him. Better late than never, you know? And what else? The one Resthold I had was... Guess what it was?
Maxine Dupree.
Correct. Ivy Nile and Maxine Dupree took on Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell
roll up
in a Y match, first of all, and distraction roll up.
Because they randomly decided to start having Candice be an absolute bitch to Maxine Dupree and just
a heel
name drop her dead brother and whatever. For reason.
That's right. I saw that.
For no reason, just because people started booing Maxine, so they're playing it, and it's like, is this gonna give some she sucks?
Yeah,
who cares?
It's
so dumb.
Interesting. So that's all I really made note of there. There were super long promos by Rock and everybody, obviously. Which
it was weird. I was talking to my friend who watches main roster stuff. He's the my American Xbox friend who likes WWE main roster, and he was saying he finds the Rock stuff boring as hell.
Yeah, I don't think it's boring, but I'm not.
I don't care about him other than that he uses his old theme.
I feel like Rock is keenly aware that his movie career is not on the upswing, so he's back to
do something,
make wrestling
that'll
cool
get
again.
Buzz.
But anyway,
because he knows since it's been so long, he'll get the buzz here, and it'll still be something.
Good for him. So NXT. Quickly, we start out with the NXT Tag Team Title #1 Contenders match. So Fraser, Axiom taking on the OC and the LWO. So Good Brothers hit a Magic Killer but couldn't take advantage. Axiom dives onto Gallows, takes Wild out too, I think it was. And then Fraser hits a 450 for the pin. I'm not convinced this is how it was supposed to finish. There's something weird going on there. Anyways, 11-minute match, really fun overall. Few blemishes along the way, Fraser barely hit a flip to the floor. There was a Tower of Doom spot they seemed to be setting up for that they either abandoned or modified or something, and then something at the finish seemed off as well. But anyways, really good action from Fraser and Axiom, and the LWO and Good Brothers just kind of existed, right? And didn't make it worse, but didn't really contribute.
It's just weird in that one Contenders match. Both our two teams are from main roster.
Right.
It's an interesting call.
But then they both lost. So I'm glad Axiom and Fraser won. They're
that would
awesome
be my
to
choice,
watch.
Yeah.
And it's a contrast to styles, right, with Braun and Corbin, so that's cool. And then Fraser and Axiom speak in the ring after the match, and Braun and Corbin are kind of on the platform in the crowd watching, so they're directly addressing the champions. There was 3 segments with Tony D and Dragunov, and it was a big rest hold, so I'm going to summarize them all really fast. Dragunov comes out of the, whatever is it called, the CWC?
Yes.
Is that where they are still? And they put a boot on his car, those things? Where if you park illegally. So anyways, Tony's goons show up in an SUV and sort of tell Dragunov to get in the car with them. So he's taken to a warehouse or a factory or something. We see people using saws and stuff. I guess it's super intimidating and scary. Ilya sits down at a small table. Tony joins him, and the rest of the family are sort of standing by, I guess, looking menacing. They talk about stuff, but no one says anything really important, I don't think. And no matter how good Dragunov sounds, he seems silly just having to have a conversation with this guy, right? Like sharing a scene with this guy.
It's just ridiculous.
Makes you less serious. So Tony grabs Dragunov's injured hand. Remember, Stax worked on it, I guess, last week. So I imagine that's part of this story. But my fear is growing, and we'll get to our picks, that Tony D wins this match. They seem to be putting so much into him right now.
It's such a bad choice. Well, that's maybe because like you need him to be believable regardless.
Because they're filling in his group. They've made him quote unquote more serious, I think they would say, slightly, but it's still cartoonish to me. Anyways, Fallon Henley and JC Jane had a very ordinary 4-minute match. JC Jane won with the running knee to the face after I think there was interference. James, Dane, Hale, Jordan were all at ringside. Yeah, it was a Kiana James distraction. Played into the finish. More about setting up a trios match at Stand and Deliver that could be interesting between these 6. And they announced that officially in the next segment. JC Jane is at gorilla position now. It's Ava and someone else there in a headset and whatnot. She's trying to explain, and I appreciated this effort. So, you know the whole JC Jane and like Chase U thing, right? So what's her explanation for doing all of that? So she wanted to get noticed and get back in the spotlight.
Weak.
Yeah, right? So it's clearly like they, I think, changed plans and went back to her being a heel. And this is like the end game of pretending to be your friend and really actually helping you and blah, 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 and saving the university you go to.
Yeah, why wouldn't
but
the
I'm
whole
a
plan
heel,
to be
though.
sink the university?
But I was a heel the whole time while I, out of the goodness of my heart, saved the university.
Yeah.
Aren't I evil?
That doesn't track.
Yeah, it was pretty weak. Anyways, we get a vignette for Briggs. He is now the Man of Mayhem. In case you didn't know.
I don't know why.
He talks about how we've known him as a tag competitor, but a legend in JBL gave him advice, and now he's got a new look and a new attitude. And that Saturday he stands on his own and delivers the fight of his career. See what he did there?
No.
Stands on his own and delivers the fight of his. Yeah, he got you.
Uh-huh.
And he's in a triple threat with Dijak and Obafemi. Could be good. And it's okay. I'm fine. Again, I'm fine with them trying single stuff with him. See what you've got in this guy. That's what this place is for. Lexus King and Von Wagner. How would you guess a 6-minute match between these two would be?
2 thumbs up.
Boring was the adjective I used.
1 thumbs up.
Vaughn did hit a nice choke slam on the apron, and then he clears off the commentary booth, sets King up for a power bomb. King escapes with an okay-looking DDT on the floor. As Vaughn gets back in the ring at 9, he takes an immediate coronation, and King wins. Little surprised by the clean win. Not a very good match, but not surprising. And I don't know where this story goes now, because he's beaten Stone, he's beaten Von Wagner, right? So
They put him through a table? I don't know.
I don't know. It sounds like you care about as much as I do. And I watch the show. Ava walks into Mello's dressing room, says that she told the ref to be lenient on Saturday so they get a winner. Think about that for a second. And they have extra security for tonight. So let me ask you. Lenient ref so we get a winner. Wouldn't a strict ref get a winner just as often?
I guess it's just like...
Say, words matter. How does a non-lenient ref make a winner less likely?
Because they would call a DQ on the fly.
Is that not a winner? Checkmate. Is that not a winner?
I think they mean...
You're basically saying...
I think they mean like
I
a
don't
real
want
winner.
a DQ winner is what you're saying. So just make it no DQ.
I would think that
because obviously they've booked the match and they know there's going to be, we're pushing the limits of what a ref should allow, so they're setting it up. I just thought it was funny. If you really think about it,
yeah, the wording's
dumb. And she never delivers anything well, so it doesn't help. But anyways, Roxy's a jerk to Natalia as Natalia's trying to give advice to Carmen Petrovic ahead of her match with Lola Vice, and I think Roxy's getting better. We just lost that light. I thought that might happen. Will you just turn that one up a couple clicks? It won't be great, but it'll be okay. Sorry. And Ariana Grace then is in the locker room with a bunch of dresses for Gigi Dolan, because remember, Gigi is now she gets to turn Gigi into a lady
She's a
or
material
whatever.
girl.
She refers to Gigi as Georgina. So Gigi's not there, but she has dresses for her. Ren Sinclair comes up and says, at the end, I don't know but the bottom line was that I think Gigi already looks cool. Like, you don't, and so she says, aren't beauty pageants?
Says the person wearing half pants.
Correct.
Like,
Good
come
point.
on.
Good point. And like, aren't beauty pageants about inner beauty and not some silly beauty standard?
Can I point out, isn't that the exact opposite of what
It
beauty
seems to
pageants
be.
are all
I
about?
think so.
Isn't beauty pageants literally like outer
Everybody
beauty?
feeding in whoever.
I'm not saying that always matters, but that's literally what beauty pageants are.
Seems to be. Like, whoever fits this standard the best wins.
Yeah. That's like saying beauty pageants are about inner beauty is like spitting in the face of beauty pageants. Like, it's the exact opposite.
Well, there you go then. Even though she's supposed to be heel, Grace is greatly offended by this and wants a match with Ren. And so Grace's character is ridiculous, and I like it. And if you want to say, well, you're being a hypocrite because you don't have time for Tony D being whatever, but she's playing like a mean beauty queen, not like a mob boss who murders people.
Yeah,
and kidnaps
it's not
people.
like these unrealistic layers being
Right.
added on each other.
Like, she's just a stuck up mean beauty queen,
which is a realistic,
be a little silly.
It's a somewhat realistic. Like,
You can stretch that a little.
It's an extension of what a real person could be.
And yes, and she's not in the main event.
And let me just say, I have a much easier time believing that Ariana Grace could be a real person or something like her exists than Tony D.
Like, Tony D could exist, but he doesn't exist and is also a professional wrestler.
That's true.
You know what I mean? Like, you could be a former beauty queen and now you're a wrestler.
That's true. If you're a mob boss, you're a mob boss.
You're taking the time to... Anyways, we're probably thinking far too deeply about this.
I think even giving it any genuine thought is too much.
my mistake. So then we get, and I texted you were at work while I watched this match, and you probably weren't expecting that text. Lola Vice and Carmen Petrovic had thought what I thought. And it's weird because I always say a 4-minute match, how can I really have any thoughts? But I liked this match, and I texted you somewhat jokingly, like they had a 4-minute banger, right? But I thought the kicks from each of them looked good. I thought Lola looked extra vicious. It kind of looked like a real fight at times, so I thought that was really cool. Petrovic seems to, her offense looks more realistic, because remember, she was like, despite being a 3rd-degree black belt,
you have to transition
when she
over
has
like
to pull
stuff,
her, yeah, it doesn't look great. So it's getting better. Anyways, I thought a nice-looking back fist and a sharpshooter by Vice, and she wins as she sort of stares down Natty, so it looks like we're heading in that direction. But over-delivered, even though I know it sounds crazy, only 4 minutes. Then we had Supernova sessions that had basically Roxanne and Lyra Valkyrie as guests ahead of their main event match championship match at Stand and Deliver. Roxanne doing the same thing, right? I never lost the title. Lyra thinks Roxanne makes too many excuses, and Lyra thinks losing the title broke Roxy, but no, it only made Roxy more dangerous. Sorry, Roxanne. Lyra says the difference between them is that Lyra wins. All Roxy does is bitch. They use their one bitch.
This feud's getting serious.
Right? After Stand and Deliver, Lyra's going to give Roxanne a whole lot to bitch about. They get in each other's faces. Roxanne hits Lyra. Kick from Lyra that did not look good. You know when, like, the person taking the kick starts to fall just a titch too early? And it kind of does not. That's basically what it was. But she ends up putting Roxanne through the coffee table. I can't remember, Spinebuster or what it was. Probably. Maybe Uranagi. Anyways, looked pretty satisfying going through the table. I like Lyra Valkyrie. I thought she sounded nervous here. I thought Roxanne's starting to hold her own. Her facial expressions and mannerisms when Lyra first came out, I thought were really good. And I hope she continues to grow into this role. The match could be good. I just wish the build were a bit more heat to it. And I worry about Lyra's acting sometimes. Like, I like her in the ring. I think she's awesome.
Yeah, I could use some polishing.
I think so. So I worry. Or manager, right? She needs a manager, maybe. Dijak Vignette, he's the superior big man of NXT and will prove it. And then Oba, Femi, and Gacy. Did you see any of the highlights of this? Went to no contest.
No, but you told me about it. I think I heard about
Femi
it too.
tossed Gacy. The ref checked on him and threw up the X and stopped it. And at first I was thinking it was part of the show. And then I thought Oba Femi looked noticeably like nervous or a little off. Like,
yeah, I'm sure it would be a
shaken,
little nerve rattling.
whatever
Yeah.
the right
Especially like if it's your first time, that kind of thing, like just that happening.
Apparently, Gacy was okay. They shifted a couple things around in the show because later on, Gacy did come and say he was still fine to do whatever he's doing on the pay-per-view, which is what?
Spears.
Right. That's right. The chairman. Because basically it was Snake Eyes and a toss, not even 4 minutes, and Spears attacked Gacy from behind before the match even started with the chair as Gacy was making his entrance. So that goes to no contest, and Femi again looks shaken at the end of it. Paxley, this was a weird turn too. So Paxley says like Lyra's not acting, you're not acting like yourself by attacking Roxanne. So sorry, the psycho stalker is now the voice of reason. Which seems a little bit weird.
Yeah, she'd be like enjoying it.
But I think we're setting up for something, and I'll talk about it when we get to our previews of WrestleMania. Ariana Grace did defeat Ren Sinclair in 4 minutes with a rope-assisted roll-up. Fine, nothing more. Another cheap win for Grace. Sol Ruka defeated Blair Davenport, got her revenge for the attack that took her out for like 8 or 9 months or whatever it was. It was another roll-up after 9 minutes. I thought it was a pretty good match. Davenport looked vicious because she was really going after the surgically repaired knee, as they said.
They always use that
like
same
6 times. And I thought Ruka, honestly, really good job of selling. She was like dragging the leg around. She hit multiple springboard moves only using one leg. Like for a rookie, I thought the selling was really good. She hit I told you, Atlas's Rainbow DDT. Looked good. And they did that inside out, no release suplex thing that you always say gets a reaction out of me.
Oh yeah,
that which it always does. And then the show ends with a final Trick Mello in-ring segment. I don't know if you saw any clips of it or anything. So you had security surrounding both guys, or around both of them, with Mello having his own security and Trick has the NXT security provided for him. So they talk about how they were headliners for the NXT Stand and Deliver PLE on Saturday, or today if you're listening to this when we first put it out. And they're the first all-black main event at an NXT PLE, which is cool. Trick said they should both be happy main eventing, but it wasn't supposed to be this way. Mello then told Trick he would always take a backseat to Mello. Trick said he wasn't going to take a backseat to Mello anymore, and Mello bragged about being hot for 3 years, while Trick has only been hot for about 3 months. Mello said he would show Trick why he's been the man all along. Trick told Mello he'll show him who the man is at Stand and Deliver. Then we get a brawl. Security has to break it up, and that's kind of how the show ends. Love these guys, but I don't know. The tone for me on this was a little bit off. Like with all the history between them and the fact that they just spoke calmly for like a few minutes.
Especially with Trick, shouldn't it be a little more amped?
And I know some people might say, well, because they're so close and whatever, they're trying to be civil. And I'm like, but I also think they've been telling us. They
haven't been, though.
Because they're so close, they're extra furious. Well, Trick is, right? So
Mello's been so either. Didn't he like sneak attack him the one week?
Yeah, and it was kind of like
it hasn't been that way.
You're standing and having like a calm, rational conversation, but you're gonna brawl. I don't know. So, anyways, I get it, but didn't love it. Match should be good. I guess it's main eventing, right? Which I feel is telegraphing the finish, which we'll get to in my preview.
Also good for them.
I agree. TNA really quickly, cool opening vignette with comments back and forth from Alex Shelley and Nick Nemeth ahead of their main event that they're
generational clash.
I was just going to say billing as a generational clash. And I like this. It was basically saying one of them's wrestled all over the world and learned from everybody while the other one's only been in one system. And Nemeth was even like, I'd be lying if I didn't say I was a little bit envious, or I'm paraphrasing, of his travels and all the people he's wrestled, right? So I thought that made sense. And they went back to this like 3 more times with quick little other people talking about what an amazing match this is, which they were overselling for sure. But it did help make it feel more important.
Do something, yeah.
And as somebody who sat here like a couple weeks ago and moaned about TNA's main events feeling random and not important,
that's true.
I have to support this,
that's
right?
True.
They're trying, so I'll get it. Good, quick, no DQ opener. It was like under 9 minutes with Mustafa Ali beating Rhino because he dodged a gore that sent Rhino through a table. And then Ali's security did get involved with a distraction, sort of leading to that. At one point, there was a really nice...
He needs to start busting at the 054 again.
There was a nice coast-to-coast with the trash can in front of Rhino that looked really good. There was... And then Ali later ran himself. There's one set up in the corner, between the ropes, and Rhino moved, and Ali was going a million miles an hour and smashed into the trash can. Looked really good. And then something comes up behind Ali on the ramp. and all something Jake something. Sorry, I
Oh,
read my own note like something. Like, why would I be so vague about that when I have to describe
that's
it?
what I was thinking.
So it's Jake something, and he runs Ali into the ring, and then Ali narrowly escapes, and one of his security guards ends up taking a huge power bomb from Jake something, who's just like looks like he's just gonna drive somebody through the mat at this point.
He should get that belt at some point.
I agree. When we were coming back to it, I showed you Hammerstone killing a cameraman, and he's doing this old school heel thing that I really like. He's basically saying, I guess fine, I shouldn't need to fight Alexander a third time because I beat him the last time and I'm bigger than him and stronger than him. And he has his headgear around his arm,
I
right
thought that
around
was
his
funny.
bicep. So he basically gets
Reminds
the
me when didn't AJ Styles wear Cena's armband on his head for a
yes,
while?
because that's how
Kinda
big
like
Cena's
that,
arms
yeah.
are.
It's like the
So
reverse of that kind. Or
he,
no, it's the same thing.
he ends up like speaking right into the camera as holding it, gets the cameraman to put the camera down, hits him with the forearm, puts the headgear on him, and then torture racks him like he's a wee baby. So I thought it looked cool, and he's doing this old school, straightforward heel, and it's working for me. Then I told you we get a debut of a new old faction. Care to reveal who that is?
TNA FBI.
TNA FBI being fronted by
Nunzio.
Guido, whatever
Guido,
his
whatever.
current name, and the team is
Zach Clayton of AEW Dark and Reality Fame, and then Ray Jazz, who I don't
Jersey.
know.
So sure, Ray Jazz, who I have
Who
no
he calls
idea.
an All-American, so I'm like, so he's in your Italian faction?
Yeah, and he could barely understand. And when he introduced Rage, especially Rage, as like Rages, Rage as like I didn't get it. But anyways, they come out because the Rascals were in the ring, like running down ECW, like they couldn't even remember one single person in it. So
So that comes one single person.
Clayton is a big dude, and he did hit a nice power slam here. They mess up something in the corner, and Myron Reed, oh yeah, he spray paints Nunzio.
Oh, he's back again?
Yeah, right. He's been just MIA.
Yeah, like
So he spray paints Nunzio on the outside, but the way it was set up, it affected absolutely nothing in the ring. So whatever they were supposed to be doing, they didn't execute it, and it looked really stupid. Anyways, Rascals win shortly after, and I don't understand bringing in a new team and having them lose in 4 minutes. Have them beat local talent or jobbers or whatever
yeah.
for a few weeks even, right? Like, I don't know. I don't know these guys, and the first thing I get is that they lost in like 3 minutes, the Rascals. So anyways, and did almost nothing. I showed you this segment too. I thought it was cool. Really quick, but Gresham's in group therapy, and it's called Part 1 Lies. And basically they ask how he's doing, and he says he's doing a lot better, and that he's learned that if he wants to speak and have people listen, he has to wear a mask. And then it's just a zoom in, right, on somebody with grills in their mouth saying that, I don't know if I'm supposed to know who this is or not, but I don't.
Know. I couldn't think of anybody.
He says, if you want to be honest, you have to live a lie, and they are done with lies. So a quick cut to Gresham then waking up like it was maybe a dream, but I don't know. And then a quick cut to him out, like outside in a suit. So I was intrigued. I watched it like 3 times.
It was interesting.
So yeah, I don't know exactly what's going on, but I feel like the guy that they zoomed in on is going to be involved. And that's why they're kind of hiding his identity. Maybe I'm wrong.
If it's someone notable, and yeah.
But I'm interested. So I do love Gresham in the ring. So if they can get some sort of interesting character attached to him, I'd be all for it. Bay and Kaz had an okay match. I was expecting a bit better, but to be fair, the final few minutes of it were pretty good. And Kaz, I figured was winning because he has a high profile Full Metal Mayhem
Oh yeah.
match against EY at the what's the next pay-per-view?
Rebellion, I think.
I think
Or
you're
something.
right. So this was too much of Kaz keeping Bay grounded with basic stuff for the first half. Now that Kaz is a heel that I agree isn't the most believable. Things were more interesting when Bay was in control. Low blow, fade to black, Kaz wins in 12 minutes. Alicia wants to tag with Masha because she just goes, Killer Kelly's gone. And I'm like,
Yeah,
what?
I was asking
watched
you
the
and you
product.
didn't
I
know
missed 1
either.
week.
Somehow you didn't know.
But she was there last week. So just, she's gone for how long? Permanently? Anyways, Khan's ready for Monsters Ball. Sure. Could be empty calorie fun. They're plotting, and plotting lends itself to something like this more so than a lot of things. But anyways, Zaya Brookside versus Ash. Did you leave for this?
Yeah.
He made it a point of like, nope.
Yeah, no, it's Dana Brooke, and I.
So the story here is that Zaya Brookside looked up to Ash growing up. Does that timing work out? I guess, because Zaya is
Almost
super
definitely
long.
not.
But like, come on.
Dana Brooke's been wrestling since 2015 at least. No.
No, I agree. That's a
I
hard...
don't. You know what? I don't care if the timeline makes all the sense in the world. You're not looking at the Dana Brooke. Like, you cannot convince me that.
I agree.
The suspension of disbelief that you need for that.
Correct.
I mean, legitimately, like, suspension of my disbelief you need for that.
I'm more likely to believe Tony D is an actual mobster.
I'm more likely to buy or even accept Tony D as a real mobster than I am Dana Brooke as a childhood idol.
I am more likely to accept Chris Statlander as an actual alien from another planet.
Yeah, she could be like a Superman type alien that looks like I am more likely to accept anything else. Like what?
There's a lot of things.
Like that the Fiend is a real person. Like
right.
I don't like. What do you want from me? Like Goldberg. I don't.
That
like,
Decay actually go into the undead realm.
Yeah,
and
like,
bring people
that Johnny
back.
Bravo was legitimately shot.
Correct. Exactly. All of this.
Like I don't know. What do you want?
So there was a nice rest hold in this by Ash and basic offense. Forgettable 8-minute match. Pretty quiet crowd. Champagne in Zaya's face by whoever the concierge is. I forget his name.
Destiny
He's really
guy. Destiny wrestling guy.
Yeah. Roll up win for Ash, who considers to add my notes, who continues to add no value to TNA in any way. Editorializing a little there. To be honest, I'm not convinced if either of these two are good.
I don't think we like
Jury
Zaya
is
Brookside
out on
either.
Brookside a little and leaning towards like.
I don't think we liked her in UK. I don't think she was that great either. She had that weird heel thing with her.
She's got a famous dad, so you get an instant.
I don't even really know who her dad is. Like I know who her dad is, but like
Robbie,
it
right?
means nothing to me.
Yeah. A little bit more ABC tension backstage, and then First Class roll in and kind of try to recruit Chris Bay.
Who's that? Don't tell me. Don't tell me.
I had the same thing. I forgot who they were too.
It's Francis and Swan.
It is.
I knew because I didn't care.
So Bay seems to be turning them down, which is great, and I think wants a match with, I don't know if it's Francis or Swan. I imagine Swan's the gatekeeper, probably, right? So.
Oof.
But Bay, First Class are a joke.
Bay
and
might be doing that because black.
Okay, so if you're...
I'm being serious.
I know you are. If you're gonna split ABC, then I'm fine with Bay being a heel because I think he's really good at it, but not joining these guys, man.
Well, and I'd also argue the thing is Ace Austin's also a good heel. So
he is.
You just turn that team heel.
I know.
But they're also enjoyable, so it's like I don't know.
I just don't want either of them involved with AJ Francis, please and thank you. Cardona and Steph DeLander, that was SDL in my notes, so I had to I was figuring that out right ahead.
Use some brain power there.
I know, because he referred to her as that, and I'm like, that's a lot shorter than writing her name, so I did. They're in TNA to win gold, and I thought
what?
I thought DeLander sounded good and has some heel attitude that came through well.
So they're in a wrestling promotion to win championships.
They're trying to write brand new stories, bud. This is
okay. So
I know it's outside the box. So you just have to give it a chance.
First, you want me to believe Dana Brooks a childhood idol. Now you want me to think people want to win champion.
Apparently that's why they're there. Even
that's not even believable. Cardona is just an AEW to win championships. You can't tell me he wants to win championships in more than one company.
And it's ridiculous. Not a little bit of the reason they're there. It is the reason.
That's I don't.
A bridge too far.
People are.
TNA's getting out there.
This is why TNA fails.
Main event was Shelly Nemeth
generational clash.
Yes. Okay. Got 25 minutes, and I saw people raving about this.
Wait, okay, so because we were wondering what generational clash means. Depending on what you want the connotation to be, couldn't everything be referred to as a generational clash?
Because to me, this is the same generation clashing. Are they saying they're different?
Well, that's what the generational clash implies, because it's like two generations clashing. It's like not once in a lifetime, but that kind of feel, if you know what I'm trying to get at.
Look up for me while I talk about this when they started their careers professionally.
I thought you wanted me to look up generational clash.
No, but I'm wondering because I feel like they're trying to say it's two different generations and which one's better.
What the hell?
I think it's the same generation. And
I share a birthday with Nick Nemeth.
Lucky you.
I did not know that.
So anyways, we had Shelly targeting Nemeth's arm, then his leg later. It was Nemeth getting flurries of offense in between long stretches of Shelly in control, limb targeting a lot. Nemeth ends up countering the shell shocked into the danger zone for the win.
Ziggler started in OVW 2004. That's the earliest point we can pinpoint.
Okay.
So that's
Got
him. Alexander Shelley, not sharing your birthday, so he's a little nerd.
2004.
Training early career 2002, so
They are the same generation.
Yeah, Generation X and ROH is 0304.
Almost
so
exactly as
could not be
much more similar.
It's
okay,
actually
so
be very hard.
Give them the benefit of the doubt. That's what they meant.
It'd be
Who's
like-
the best of that generation?
That's fair. To me, generational clash feels like intergenerational.
Correct.
But
this is intra-generational.
you could
I think
do that.
that's how that works.
Either way, so technically everything could be a generational clash if you really wanted to.
Yes.
Ash by Elgins versus Zaya Brookside is a generational clash.
Right.
It's just it's like when you talk about how you could word double clothesline to be different.
Correct.
Depending on how you want to do it.
They do use it both ways.
Yeah.
So I like this less than a lot of people did. I saw like 4 stars, B plus, A minus.
4 stars puts it almost on par with Takeshita Ospreay, just for reference.
I thought the first half was kind of ordinary and slower paced than I would expect. And also you knew Ziggler was winning, right? Because he's the one getting the title shot and stuff. So they were pushing this really hard throughout the show as a huge deal, and the match was good.
It's a good thing Shelley didn't waste a title shot on this.
It wasn't as good as what the several Bailey matches.
I don't know why, but I didn't think of Mike Bailey. I thought of Bailey.
Bailey who?
Bailey.
From WWE.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I don't know why.
Sorry, because I normally say Speedball.
Yeah, I know. That might be part of it.
That
might be part of it. But even
funny.
still, it's weird that's where my mind went to.
And yeah, that is basically going to be it, I think. I didn't, obviously, SmackDown, we didn't catch because it's just finished a little while ago. And that'll bring us to, I guess we'll do some previews, yeah?
Yippee.
So big weekend, obviously, of WWE PLEs. We'll preview 3 of them right now in a segment we'll call Previewing Them Right Now. Okay, I was telling you, I don't think I've ever put more thought, not a ton, but still more thought into made a beautiful chart. I'm a chart guy.
More than no thought.
Any opportunity to make a chart.
I made 3 charts.
It's a beautiful chart. A table, even.
Table.
I don't know. Whatever. But anyways, we'll start with Stand and Deliver. So
table, chart, whatever you want to call it.
I started from pre-show to main event.
I try to do that, yeah.
Okay, so we probably have the same order.
Similarly. I might have messed it up a little because I forgot about the women's 6-woman tag, so.
I've got that. I put that as, I have Gacy Spears first.
I saw it in a different order.
Pre-show. What doesn't matter. I'll figure it
out. Gacy Spears, I just said it feels like a Gacy win as much as I like Spears.
Ooh, I took Spears.
I feel like they're going with Gacy.
I just feel like Gacy can take losses because his whole thing is he loves to take a beating.
That's true.
And Spears just got here, and I feel like he would have been like, listen, I don't want to be losing on the first PLE after I'm back.
Pretty sure.
So I will take Spears. Not super confident, but makes sense, right?
It does.
Yeah.
Breaker Corbin, Axiom Fraser, tag titles. So this one's a little tricky to me.
It's the Wolf Dogs?
Yeah.
Wolf Dogs.
Because Wolf Dogs have to, I feel like they have to win here, but because Fraser, not that they have to win, but I feel like they should win because they already beat these guys in the cup tournament. But also Braun's on the main roster basically. He has to be fully let loose. So I feel like that he should get that the so-called post-Mania push. And I don't know who else could be Corbin Braun, so I'm a little unsure, but I'm gonna take Fraser and Axiom because I could see it happening. I would like them to have the belts.
Okay, this is good. I'm taking the Wolf Dogs.
I could see that too. It's just I'm not sure.
This team works somehow. I don't think they've run their course.
I say you bring them up because Braun's they've already workshopped him on the main roster with a couple matches. They need to send him up, and I feel like post-Mania is that ideal time.
And I think they could bring him up as one half of the tag team champions.
They kind of already have, but I feel like they need to ditch it.
And so I'll take the champs retaining. I just think they'll have them have the titles for a bit longer and then lose them.
Mm-hmm.
Braun might be gone. For sure.
Lyra versus Roxanne. I don't think Lyra's going up yet. I feel like Roxanne can take the hit even though she's newly heel. I just think she's kind of had her time.
We disagree on everything. I love it. I took Roxanne. I
thought you might.
I think the higher ups want, this is my theory, obviously I don't know, that they want her to see what she does with a heel run with the title.
I think I saw they like her. I could see her going up.
And then I think Lyra's done with this. Lyra turns heel in the whole because of this and with
another heel turn.
And because I think they want to see her now as a heel. I think both of them are super close to being done here. maybe Lyra a little bit longer just because she hasn't been here as long. But like they're now seeing like, okay, we've seen you do this. Let's see what you do with the flip side of that. So this is an opportunity to do both of those things, I think. So I'll take Roxanne.
Team JC versus Team Thea. I took Thea because I feel like she has to get her payback, and I don't think this feud should go any longer than this show.
I took the same. I took the baby faces here. And my reason was just feels like a babyface win to me, question mark.
Because like I don't think it matters enough. And if it goes beyond like a singles match between Thea and JC at like the next TV special, then it's like too long.
And I think like you can do miscommunication between the heels because JC Jane is not normally with James and Dane, right? So there can be a problem there, whatever. But yeah, I took the faces. Too.
Obafemi, Briggs, Dijak, North American title. I don't see either of these guys being Femi yet. I feel like he's still got more to grow with the title. And so I think he retains.
I took Femi as well. I think he is on the fast track to main roster, but
there's
not
more
quite
room
yet.
to like. There's more work on.
I did say maybe there's a chance Dijak just to reward him.
I don't think so though.
And because Femi wouldn't have to take the fall if you are like sending him.
But I think that's way too soon.
I do too. So I'm sticking with Femi.
Yeah. Dragunov, D'Angelo for the NXT title. I just said, please don't make the mob boss your top guy. Ilya wins.
All right, so I did it. I took him.
Oh, that's
it. Really
garbage.
Feels like this whole thing is building to him.
I'm gonna tell myself it's okay, and like they're just building up a challenger. He's
been more of the focus of this than Dragunov, I would suggest. And I feel like they've put in too much time and effort to not.
The thing is, like,
off.
I could see that happening. I refuse to.
He's added 2 people to his family. He's kidnapped Dragunov and dragged him to this place, and it's all, I don't know. And they've made this effort to make him more serious, which isn't working for me. But and again, Dragunov has nothing left to accomplish here. And if you really are trying to see what you have in Tony, and if this character can catch on or whatever, a win over Dragunov is humongous on his resume, right? But I couldn't hope to be wrong more than this, but I'm honestly, I've gotten afraid the last like 3 weeks, so I'll take Tony D. I don't know if we've ever disagreed on more.
That's like fear mongering.
I'm not happy. Like it's almost like I'm hoping to will it in the opposite direction somehow by saying this.
I'm just trying to will it not to happen.
So we got our bases covered.
Yeah, I'm just trying to. That's I'm willing it. I'm willing Ilya to win. You're willing him to lose.
Correct.
So we're just like we're coming at him from both sides, and it's gonna happen.
That's right.
Mello, Trick. I heard a main event, so I feel like it's Trick's coronation. I feel like we concur on this matter. Regardless, if this feud spans multiple matches or not, I think Trick fires off the first salvo in his rise up.
So yes, I feel like putting this here telegraphs this match and almost makes me think title change more likely because it's not the main event anymore, and it's just like
I'd say title change less likely because I feel like title change is more notable.
I think they know fans might be disappointed and they don't want that to be the lasting thing.
But also Trick.
But anyways, it's Trick. Feels like everything's been building to him winning, right? Mello is a made man in NXT and has already like been on main roster.
He's already sniffed the main roster
a few times. So Trick's as hot as it gets right now, and moving this to main event kind of telegraphs it, I think. So it's Trick.
Yeah,
I'm pretty
kind of like when
confident.
Christian's main event telegraphed Edge's return.
Yeah, exactly.
Like completely.
Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about WrestleMania Night 1.
Mm-hmm. A lot rides on my picks because last year I went perfect except for Cody.
The story
Cody screwed me over.
Not finishing his story.
So we'll see. I did try to do my best to pick this. Some of them are tricky, but like I did my best to pick this because I need to improve on last year.
All right, let's see
I
how
need to cinch the deal. Andrade and Rey Mysterio versus Escobar and Dom. How are you feeling about this? Because this one felt really tacked on to me.
So
this stems from last year's feud, and it's just weird to me. But I feel like Rey gives him his comeuppance again, and I don't think Andrade should be losing so soon, even in a tag match. He's replacing Dragon Lee, so there's a possibility he turns, but I don't see that.
I took Escobar and Dominic, and I've said I'm not confident, but Rey I don't think needs a win, and I feel like he'd be like, come on, let's get my son a win at Mania while he's hot right now, and everyone hates him. He'd be more than willing to, and he'll be like, I'll take the pin, I don't care, it doesn't have to hurt.
Yeah,
Dragon Lee.
Then we get Blair, Naomi, and Cargill versus Damage Control. It's Cargill's coming out party. They win. It's not. There's no debate there.
That's funny. I said, anyone think Jade is losing on a PLE right now? Yeah, Damage Control can lose and keep all their gold too, right?
Yeah.
Which I think is another big factor. So that one was one of the easier ones
Yeah.
to pick.
So then we get the ladder match for the Undisputed Tag titles, which is Judgment Day, Awesome Truth, Gross, DIY, New Day, A-Town Down Under, which is Theory and Waller, and New Catch Republic, no, British Strong Style. For both sets of belts, I've heard that they're just going to split them here. So just in the case of that, we're
picking two. I think it's
split
happening.
Picks. So for the Raw titles, I'm taking Awesome Truth. I don't want them to win, but it seems like the best way to pay
I
off
almost took them.
the Truth Judgment Day feud. I want DIY.
I
don't think it's happening. And for the SmackDown belts, I'm taking New Catch. Long live the Bruiserweight.
Yes. So I am going with New Catch as well.
Okay.
And I am gonna say
SmackDown or Raw.
And I am gonna say DIY. Oh, I don't know.
New Catch are on SmackDown if that helps.
Okay, sure. And my rationale is Triple H wants to separate himself and the company from Vince. Triple H loves tag team wrestling. Triple H loves DIY specifically, right? So if you want to make this wrestling, so I'm not confident in both of them. I feel like they might go one comedy one too.
Which I don't like.
Which I don't like either, but maybe not. So, and I think Bate and Dunn have been on a nice roll, so it could continue.
If Dunn gets a win at Mania, I'll be so happy.
So I'll take DIY and Bate and Dunn.
Uso versus Uso. I pick Uso.
Couldn't care less. Don't even know who's who.
Jay's presented as someone they seem to want to do things with, whereas Jimmy's still a bloodline lackey. So I hope it's good because it somewhat interests me. So Jay wins.
I took Jay.
Yeet.
I took Jay because
I'm gonna write Yeet in your box just to spite you.
Jay is called the main event Jay Uso, so to me that's them telling me which one is slotted higher than the other.
Yep.
And on Mania, I'll take them.
So your box says Yeet, by the way. Just to clarify, mine's my pick and your pick is Yeet.
Is my pick Yeet?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yep.
Bummer.
You want to change it?
Nope.
I'll be no Yeet.
Confident.
Okay.
I don't care about that match at all.
You are Yeet. So next week, Gunther, Sami Zayn. I do wish this was Gable's spot. I like what they've done with Sami's arc, but I feel like it would have been better with Gable just because he hasn't had a shot yet. Or, like, he has had shots at Gunther, but, like, Sami's had the belt multiple times.
That's right.
I could see Gable maybe turning, but I feel like he's too popular to do that. Like, just Alpha Academy's got a good thing going, and, like...
I feel like he does.
I don't think so. I think he's too popular right now. I think people love him right now.
Yeah,
and I just think to squander that in any way would be bizarre. So maybe there's a chance they save Gunther for Gable SummerSlam or something, but he's already had 3 cracks, so I don't know. And I feel like Gunther and Roman go up in smoke. So I feel like Sami gets his feel-good win here, and Gunther's run comes to an end. And Sami's a worthwhile guy to give it to as well.
I agree.
So it's like it feels like a good end.
I took Sami as well. I think he gets a really cool moment. Gunther already has the record done.
Gunther's a made man at this point, so it really doesn't matter.
Well, and I feel like he'll be Cody's next heel challenger, and I think that's like SummerSlam probably.
Pick spoiler.
To be honest, so yeah, I think that's a signature win for Sami, which is awesome, and Gunther can't do any more with the IC title.
I agree. Like he's done all he can.
Yep.
Ripley, Becky. Talk about a match I don't really care about. I'm taking Becky. I don't see who else could beat Rhea right now, and I think we need a change. I don't think Rhea's run has been bad, because obviously she's really hot right now, and has been, but I feel like it's running a little stale, just with the lack of competition. Like, just feels like she hasn't really done much. Like, she wrestled Nia Jax. Like, ugh. So maybe the title run could get Becky some of her popularity back, 'cause she's kind of in, like, that Cena era.
I'm taking Ripley. I think she's like in her prime, and they are trying to continue to build her legacy, and taking out another horsewoman because she had a really good match with Charlotte, right?
That's fair.
Is a feather in her cap, and I don't think a loss hurts Lynch right now.
No, but
I think a loss hurts Ripley a lot, and they have her on a pedestal right now.
I think her loss to Charlotte last year would have hurt a lot because of what happened the first time. But I feel like with this, like, I think she's had her run. Like, a year run's pretty good, and that seems to be the usual thing. And, like, she could take, like, a bit of a backseat and do Judgment Day stuff for a while. And
I don't know if they want to take this much gold out of, if we're saying they lose the tag titles.
It could be a bit of a cool off for them. And
they
could split whenever, because they teased that with Balor and Priest a while back. Like,
I don't think they want to cool her off. I don't think they're worried about cooling off any of the other ones.
Just like, I don't know. I feel like her run's kind of running out of steam if it needs some change. Like, her title run specifically. I don't know. Anyways, then our night one main event: Rollins, Cody versus Rock and Roman. I'm taking Rock and Roman. We get Cody versus Roman under Bloodline rules the next night. Rock turns on Roman, sets up a SummerSlam match, and Cody will get the win.
I took the Bloodline as well. I don't think you tease a stipulation like Bloodline rules and then don't
And I'm thinking
have
also
it benefit them.
changes things up for Roman style.
Mhm.
We also have a street fight on night two, which changes things up, but who cares?
And I think they'll obviously beat on Cody, and that makes him more sympathetic going into night
And
two.
Jay and Rollins can get involved if you want. You could have Sammy
Exactly.
even
I
run
expect
in,
a ton of interference, right? So
overbooked stuff.
I'm fairly confident in that one, but you never know. But yes, I also took Bloodline. I guess that brings us to night 2, yeah?
I would think so.
All right, let's do it.
We start with Lash Profits versus the Cross Group. Philly Street Fight. I'm taking Lash Profits. Cross win would deflate the entire stadium.
I took Final Testament. They have to disappoint the fans at some point. And
he said the same thing, but for the opposite reason.
I feel like the stipulation should favor them to some degree because
they can't wrestle.
Because they're the big, strong boys, right?
No, that's how
I'm not sure anyone cares about, what are they called? Final Testament?
I hate their name so much.
But maybe they want to try and get them some momentum. I don't know.
I'm
not happy about it.
I still hate
I
Cross
don't care
so
about
much.
this match at all.
I do not care about anything he does. If anything, I still hate
I don't
him.
mind AOP.
I don't hate them, but I don't like them to the point where I'm like, oh yeah, I still like you. You're with Cross. I don't care.
And I'm kind of over Lashley and Street Profits right now. Street Profits, I don't know. They missed
the
something
whole thing
with
was
them.
like, yeah, remember they were kind of hot facing the Usos?
And then it was, Montez is going to be a singles dude. No.
He was in a chamber match once.
Yeah.
And I also feel like it's like they turned heel with Lashley to go more serious, and now they're kind of babyface feeding across. So I really don't understand what happened.
Nope.
LA Knight versus AJ Styles could be decent, but I really don't care. It doesn't feel like something to me.
I don't feel much heat for this either.
But I just said no way they have Knight lose on such a big stage. Yeah.
I said Knight, huge for him, fulfill a dream, I'm sure, for him. And why does AJ need a win here?
Mm-hmm.
And you give the crowd what they want here, right?
Then we got Paul Owens Orton for the U.S. title. If it was a solo match between Paul and Kevin Owens, or even Knight, I really think it should have been Knight and Paul. I'd be more inclined to expect a title change, but the triple threat really doesn't feel like it's building to a title change for me. Additionally, and I don't know if you know, but SummerSlam's in Cleveland, which is like Logan Paul territory.
Oh boy.
So I feel like he holds it until there.
I took Logan Paul as well. I feel like the other two, Orton for sure, are beyond this title.
And Owens, like, I feel like if he was gonna win it, at least, like, they would have built it up like kind of how they built it to the Rumble. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, if this was some sort of stipulation match, then like with Owens and Paul, then it would have made more sense to me for a title change. But yeah, because it's just like this 3-way that kind of just felt thrown at us.
Yes.
It doesn't feel like a title match.
And I think like triple threat shenanigans is the only way Orton loses to Paul at this point in there.
And he can do brass knucks without having to hide it, really.
Right. Yeah, that's the thing. It can be interference. It can be somebody stealing a pin, whatever.
And he can pin someone on the
Prime
logo, because don't forget
an
the Prime
RKO
logo.
and pin gets stolen would be if I had to pick an ending. But yeah, I take Paul as well.
Io Sky Bailey for the other women's title. Another match, like, I feel like the build just really, like, it started out kind of promising, and then just like,
yeah,
it's just
there's stuff there.
The women's matches I really just feel are under the radar. I just don't care.
I hope this match is good. It could be really good.
In ring, yeah. I feel like Bailey gets a Mania moment. She hasn't done much in a while, and she hasn't really had like a big moment on a big stage like that. And Io's run hasn't done much for her, unfortunately. I feel like you could have Bailey and Becky elevate the two titles, so I'm gonna go with Bailey here. It's the women's pick I'm more confident in for sure.
I think Triple H gets her moment. I took Bailey as well. And I think Sky's title run's been decent, but it feels like it's kind of winding down.
You think we could see like a big hugger entrance, like the Bailey Buddies come back?
Maybe.
I saw someone suggest that, and I was like,
that's possible.
Maybe. I wouldn't mind as like a one-time thing, because I don't know if she needs to go fully back to that ever.
No.
But like a one-time thing, I'd be okay.
No, because she was like she was a kid almost, you know.
She's evolved past that, but like I wouldn't mind it as like
hard to go back.
It'd be a cool special.
For a nostalgia pop.
Yeah. Then we go to Rollins McIntyre. It has to be Drew. No cash and shenanigans after. Drew wins. Give him his title. Give him his moment. His hard work should pay off. Give Drew his due. Like there's a lot of pressure for me to get all the picks right, but if I could pick only one pick to get right for sure, it would be this one.
And
even
you're
over
a huge Seth Rollins fan.
and
so
I
this
love
is-
Rollins.
Yeah.
And even over like taking Pete Dunne or Cody, like I
Yeah.
want Drew to get his moment. I think just based on the merit alone of carrying through them through the pandemic and never getting that big title win, but then also his work this year has been fantastic.
Yes.
So I cannot stress enough how much I really, really want Drew to win this. I think he deserves it more than anybody, and I'm so glad Punk got injured.
I'll read mine verbatim because I think you'll agree with my last little bit for sure. I said, Drew, it has to be Drew. Best heel in wrestling right now. And this is the part I think you'll agree with. I care more about him getting his moment and a non-COVID run much more than I care about Cody Rhodes finishing his story.
Honestly, I'm more pulling for Drew this
Me
show
too.
than like I just genuinely want him to have his this is the story I want finished. So.
He is must see right now.
He is, honestly, for me. It's the kind of stuff
agree.
that gets me to tune in.
Yep.
So I cannot stress enough how much I genuinely want Drew to win here.
Me too.
I'm really pulling for him, and I think the match will be really good too.
Yep.
Cause I do like them both, and Seth's always been my guy, but you gotta. I picked against Moxley a lot recently, so
Right, I'm taking Drew.
Drew
it's
has
his
to
time,
win.
man.
Absolutely. I agree, and I want Priest to have the briefcase for as long as possible, or honestly, have Priest cash in on Cody. I don't care.
No, that's fine.
I don't care. I want Drew to have his run more than anything.
Yep.
You could have him cash in on Cody after like a month. Like just screw Cody. I don't care. As long as Cody gets this night's win and the story's finished,
Yes.
I do not care what happens.
No,
Drew,
neither.
I want preserved.
Correct.
And I cannot stress enough how much I care about Drew over Cody.
He would be awesome with the belt right now.
Absolutely.
So let's do it.
And then we roll into Reigns versus Cody for the title with a long name, which Cody said he'll change, which is good. I'm picking Cody. It'd be the stupidest idea in history to have him lose again. Like, because then what happens? Rock cost Roman. We can set up that match for a later date.
Right.
Cody wins. Story finished. It's very simple.
The only way I don't pick Cody here is if Vince were still running things, because he would want to troll the fans so bad.
And have Rock win it or
He
something.
would just love that, like, Cody didn't finish the story. Ha ha ha, you idiots. But they're smarter than that now, and I would pretty confident Cody wins here as well. I don't think it's like 0 chance that Roman retains, but
there's always like a 15% chance.
If I have to say, I would say it's Cody. Yeah. Okay. I know you have figure stuff, but
we can
it's
postpone
late,
it.
so we'll hit that back next
because the
week.
WrestleMania reveals are extensive.
So yeah, we'll have a whole bunch of WrestleMania to talk about, maybe even split into some other episodes, see if I can get video figured out. Not confident it's still recording right now, actually. I'm pretty sure
see.
it's
Time
not,
will tell.
but a bunch of it recorded, so we'll see what I can do. But anyways, thanks for joining us for episode 194. We'll be back next Saturday for sure with 195, if not before. And until then, everybody, take care.